Okay, we are live. Let me just get the pre-game up. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to another watch along. We have a very important game on our hands here today. We need to hold on. Just gonna adjust that. I don't know if that created any form of distortion. But yeah, we are back after a very disappointing loss a couple of days ago against the Charlotte Hornets. We lost that one 129 128, a game which we gave up 21 threes. Rozier had 37. It was good to see a Cam Thomas return game. That's always good fun. But big news out of today is that you will see who's back in the starting lineup. It is Cam Thomas, of course. So Dorian Finney-Smith will head to the bench. Royce O'Neal is back. I'm not sure about Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith will return. Dorian Finney-Smith has been downgraded to questionable. What I can't see, though, is if he's actually out or not. Here we go. Lonnie Walker's out. Dennis Smith was probable now. Yeah, I don't know if Finney Smith is available because everything I'm seeing is just saying he's questionable and that's it. Literally nothing has said he's going to play. But nothing has also said he's going to be out. So, interesting stuff there. But those filing in. Welcome to the stream. Big game today. We're 9-9. Obviously a very poor defensive performance the other day. Although in the last quarter it was our offense that fell off. We didn't actually have a too bad of a second half. Defensively, it was more the offensive side of things, which, you know, they sort of slowed up a little bit. And we just didn't have enough points on the board by the game's end. I mean, if you take away JT Thor and PJ Washington's 3-point numbers, which was 2 of 11, that would mean they shot 19 of 25, which if I do the math very quickly, that's basically free throw numbers. I mean, free throws sometimes are worse off. 76% from 3, excluding Washington and Thor. So that's including Rozier, McGowan's, Jesus, Nick Smith Jr., Miles Bridges, and Gordon Hayward. So, and they shot the ball a lot. So, yeah, there's got to be improvement in that area. It's just, it's unacceptable for a group that is supposed to be this good defensively. The good thing about today is it'll be the first time that we do see Cam Thomas, Bridges, and Claxton in the starting lineup. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Obviously, the offense, we needed Cam Thomas's offense probably in the last quarter, but JV said we're gonna rest him up. So fair to say I wasn't too happy about that because the game was there to be won and you can't make an adjustment. You can't play him at the end. I mean, surely it can't be that difficult to just, take a few minutes away from his third quarter allocation and just say, we're going to need him in the fourth. So the Magic are really good, by the way. They are really good. They have won 9 in a row. They've won 9 in a row, and the last time they lost was against us about 2.5 weeks ago. So, well and truly, I mean, if there's a bogey opponent, are we the bogey opponent? I don't know. But I've got a bit of optimism about this game for some bullshit reason. I mean, I had fake optimism last game, apparently, because we should have won that easily. But apparently, no LaMelo Ball, no Brandon Miller, no problem for the Hornets. They've got Rozier, who can drop 37 and shoot very efficiently on 9 threes. Like, it's pretty crazy we lost that game. I would have been far more comfortable going into this one 10-9 as opposed to, 10-8 as opposed to 9-9. But this is going to be a big test. I mean, yeah, last time we played Orlando, they did run this starting lineup of Suggs, Anthony Black, Wagner, Batadze, and Banchero. But Anthony Black was like holding the team back. And they had some good scoring punch for the first 2 to 3 quarters, but then it just all like simmered, really. So this is, we've got another home game. So this should be, we've got to well and truly take this opportunity. Thomas, mate, hope you're doing well. Everything's well over here. I was obviously very surprised to find myself thinking Royce may have been helpful in defense last game. There was something I saw on Twitter that said, before the game starts, I'll read it word for word. The Nets' final shot attempt last night was fine. The real issue was their play for the previous 47 minutes and 54 seconds. And I think that's a very fair statement. A very fair statement. So they only had themselves to blame. A lot of talk around that final shot as well. If you look at it back on replay, there were a couple things they could have done with it. But, I mean, I'm of the view that they should have called a timeout. But obviously they had been doing all right on the break. So we had an open 3. CJ on a better shooting night is probably hitting that 3. That should have been bread and butter. But unfortunately, obviously, we have to sit here with that one well and truly in the history books. And we are not the beneficiary. So is what it is. But we move forward. Timeout and 2 would have been smarter. Of course. I mean, in hindsight, you could have done a number of things. But I do think JV, like, even though that probably was the right thing to do, you could have easily made a case for the alternative. So, so yeah, this is going to be a really interesting starting lineup to watch, though, because, well, Cam Thomas is now back into the starting lineup, so I don't know what the minutes look like for him tonight, because 25 or so minutes the other night on a minutes restriction. I don't know if that's like that ruling's just going in the bin now and they're just going to give him a full minute allocation. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be good to see how many open looks Mikal Bridges also gets, because Cam Thomas is going to draw defenders, and a lot of them. So that's especially if he gets off to a good start. If he starts a bit slower, I think the Magic can sort of afford to give a little bit away that they probably usually wouldn't allow if he is playing well. But the Magic, like, going into the previous game that we played against them, they were the second-ranked defense, and then we scored 124 points on them. So it's going to be interesting to see what our sort of what the scheme sort of looks like offensively for us, I guess. Alrighty. Game should be getting ready to start. They're just doing a little bit of pump up with Eye of the Tiger, I do believe. Yeah, so pretty good shit. Pretty good shit. Noah Eagle, the son of Iron Eagle, is also doing the broadcast tonight, which is pretty cool. Okay. What happened to Ben Simmons? Because I'm seeing a lot of people. Okay, here we go. Ben Simmons received an epidural injection to aid in recovery from lower back and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Does this guy just have chronic back pain? Like, dude, his body's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. Alrighty. It's gonna be so weird listening to the broadcast, because the son of Iron Eagle, like there is the Iron Eagle twang. There's like elements of the voice that like it sounds pretty much the same, but it's not. It's a bit off-putting. But we're underway for the first quarter, and the Nets' early offense, fucking hell, it took a grand total of 4 seconds for us to get a shot up, and it was Bridges missing the layup, so good stop. Bitadze, the layup, that's a wild attempt, and a rebound for Spencer Dinwiddie off hands, so we commence with a miss. Oh, wow. Bridges is wide open for three, and that's going to be knocked down. Way too easy. Way too good to not miss that. He had probably 5 feet of space on his opponent, who had been hit with a screen, I believe, by Claxton. So now Banchero, that's a good pass, and Bitadze wasn't able to finish the dunk. Cam Thomas will run the offense now. Picked up by Anthony Black. Thomas, bit of touch and feel. The push shot is off. Rebound, Black, who is like 6'6". Black to Bitadze, to Suggs, who will drive. The pass to Bitadze, and now Wagner on the outside. The high screen. Good defense. Wagner misses. Rebound by Cam Thomas. Good box out by Clax. And now the high screen set by him as well. Thomas will hand it off to Bridges, and now Claxton will receive at the elbow. Bridges the drive. The scoop. That's off. Good defense. Good peeling off by the Magic, and now they have a 3-on-1 break. Well, we are the 3-on-1 numbers-wise, but somehow Banchero's just muscled his way to the basket and scored for 2. I mean, last line of defense was Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson, and those two aren't necessarily that big in comparison to Banchero in the weight room, even though Banchero's been in the system for only like 2 years. Yeah, this is his 2nd season in the league. Sort of crazy. Banchero at the line will not make it. He knew he missed it, but Johnson was there for the rebound. A little bit fortuitous with the bounce, and now Dinwiddie will facilitate and direct traffic. Cam Thomas on the wraparound, the skip pass to Johnson right in front of the net bench. It's good, and he couldn't knock that down, of course, when the game was there to be won, but he knocks one down 2 minutes into the game where the stakes are just a little bit lower, the pressure a little bit less intense. Banchero picks up his dribble on the wing. Wagner will drive. Good help by Johnson. They switch him onto Wagner. And now Suggs on the outside, picked up by Thomas. He gets right by him. The push shot is off. Rebound Thomas. After it hit back iron, Thomas will pass it back to Johnson. Early offense. Bounce pass to Dinwiddie, who thought about the 3. He's going to feed Clax, who's got Anthony Black on him. And they're going to isolate him now, which is a great idea. It was good movement by Cam Johnson to send Banchero away and hold him accountable, so Anthony Black had no support under the basket. That's an excellent cross by Black. The kick out to Banchero. And he's going to back down Dinwiddie. Johnson with the help. Suggs. Good peel across by Bridges. Wagner into the paint. Claxton there with the presence, but it is Wagner who scores with the right hand. So 8-4 early lead to the Nets. 3 minutes elapsed in this first quarter. It's Cam Thomas who lost the ball. It's in dispute, and it is a foul, and it's going the other way. I mean, the Magic were off to the races. That was one where the basketball seemed to have a little bit more air than usual, and it was just like it bounced into the hardwood a little bit more. Let's have a look. In hindsight, that's a smart foul to give away, but Cam Thomas already has 2 personals in about 3 minutes, so they may attack that. Banchero with the elbow, and he missed it. It's a rebound to CJ, and he's going to push the pace as well. Hand off to Mikal. Skip pass to Thomas. Catch and shoot 3 on the wing. It is basically an air ball. Wow. For someone who shoots the ball so well, that's incredibly unprecedented. Suggs gets right by, and that is terrible Dinwiddie defense. And that's probably why they don't want to guard the perimeter. But that being said, I mean, that is way too easy of a bypass. Way too easy of a bypass. Dinwiddie into the paint. Bitadze defending him. Wow. That is... How is that a foul, dude? That is rubbish, mate. Already 4 minutes in, 3 fouls. Oh my God, that is a joke. For someone who's watched contact sports growing up, that is such a pain in the ass to have to witness. They are doubling Banchero with the weak side defender, which is pretty interesting. But it leaves an open 3 for Wagner, and he's never going to miss those. The Magic have their first lead of the game after starting down 8-2. They've scored the last 7, and now Dinwiddie will give it to CT, and he will hand it back off to Bridges. One more for Thomas in the corner. Lost his footing and was fouled by Anthony Black. It's potentially going to be 2 free throws. I think it is. And that's a particularly tough call. So, I believe it's a blocking foul. So, Cam Thomas at the free throw line to retake the lead for the Nets. That first free throw was good. If you are just tuning in now, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing quite well. The Nets have Cam Thomas back in the starting lineup, so he is going to probably get a few more minutes than he did the last time out. The Magic have won 9 in a row, their last loss to the Brooklyn Nets at this venue 2.5 weeks ago. So they are on an absolute tear at the moment. Suggs, good read by Bridges, found the ball in the passing lane, and then they nearly screwed it up, bringing it up the court, but we still have it. Johnson, driving kick. Dinwiddie swing to Bridges in the corner. Layup, good verticality over Batadze, and that was just too good by Mikal. And we're 5 or so minutes in with a nice little 3-point buffer. Anthony Black, good defense by the Nets. Blocked that pass off into the interior, so Banchero will play make from the outside. He shoots the mid-range, and it's good defense by Mikal on the help. So those mid-ranges that were being hit by Charlotte regularly in the previous game, not being hit thus far in this game. Bridges well off to the right. And Cam Thomas nearly lost the ball, and he did out of bounds. This guy, what is he doing in the first 5 or so minutes? A couple very uncharacteristic errors. I mean, we had an opportunity at a second chance there, and Cam Thomas just a little bit too nonchalant, lets the ball go by him. And he didn't ever get a clean grasp of it, and it just went out of play. So that's not really explainable from Cam Thomas. Claxton is the guy we're putting in the spotlight today. I will look at the chat shortly, but for the moment, you can see the current way things are going down at the moment, I guess. A rebound and 2 points for Clax. Mikal has really assumed responsibility early, and he's got an early 5 points. Cam Thomas has turned the ball over a few times, or once. That was a very diabolical error. It might as well count for 2. And then 2 personal fouls as well. So he's already in a little bit of bother with regards to the fouling. So he could very much be on a minutes restriction tonight with those fouls holding him back a little bit. Started okay. The turnovers, not great for this stage of the game, but obviously a long way to go. The Magic have shot 1 extra shot. We've kept them off the 3-point line, and they are missing a few from inside the line. So I guess that's a good sign that they haven't really shot the 3 well, or they haven't shot it enough, nearly, in the first portion of this game. They'll probably want to be looking at taking a few more, be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, you see the Hornets make 21 threes, and if you were smart, you would probably note the weakness and then actually, exploit it, I guess. So, yeah. Kieran, I've butchered that. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for saying hello. Toka Tom, hope you're doing well, buddy, as well. Cam will be in shape. Just give him time. He's getting back from injury. Bro, he doesn't get a pass because he scored 26 last game. He gives us these expectations because he's so good and he's so natural with it. So if Cam Thomas is playing and is starting, then obviously they think he's ready to go. So there's not really any room to say, well, we got to give him time. I mean, obviously, yeah, I can be a little bit harsh with it because, you know, it's Cam Thomas, man. I've gone from not really being a fan of him because he can't play defense to being a really big fan of him because he can play defense. It's never been the offense for me. It's the more intangible stuff. I think that's the attitude I take with a lot of players as well. We're playing a little bit of 2-3 zone, which is an interesting look, but it allowed backdoor cuts like that one from Suggs, though it was a bit too saucy for him and it goes out of play, and the Nets will have an opportunity to develop this lead further. Royce O'Neal is in the game, so I think Finney Smith is out because he would usually probably be first man off the bench. Bridges, bit of touch and feel, shoots the mid-range as he gets to his spot, and he scores for 2 more over Wagner. So early points for Bridges. He's got 7 of those. He accounts for half of our total, and we are at the halfway point of this first quarter. Suggs drive, well held by Bridges. They're going to look for a pass to Banchero, but Dinwiddie denies that pretty well. And now Banchero backs down. Dinwiddie, Bridges with the chase down block as the shot clock expired. We rim run. Dinwiddie, Johnson, swing to the corner. 3 for Mikal. It's good. Yes. Oh, come on, lads. And we've got a timeout. So that is, I mean, that is textbook. That is Nets basketball personified right there. I mean, when you think of Nets basketball, that is exactly what I picture. That's what I'm looking at as the way our identity takes form. You know, a nice little trapping of Banchero roundabout in the paint, chase down block by Mikal, or help defense block by Mikal, and then just pushing the pace. Nearly everyone gets a touch, you know, relocating to the corners and finding that space in the corners for an open look and actually hitting the 3, because there's a lot of times where we don't hit those threes. And yeah, it looks pretty embarrassing, but yeah. So, I mean, this is the exact same start that we had against the Magic last time out, I think, and then the Magic went on a bit of a run. That's a really good start by Mikal and a really good sign. If you are enjoying thus far, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe. Why does it say the stream started 12 hours ago? I can tell you right now, it did not start 12 hours ago. That's a bit of a weird bug. So, good start, lads. Very good start. If you are enjoying the stream at this point in time, obviously support is much appreciated. So if you would like to do so and help push it out a little bit more, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new as well, which is always important. We want the community to grow as big as we can, because when there's good vibes, there's good vibes. And when there's bad vibes, or when the team loses, we can all share the same suffering. So the community does good in a lot of ways. We do start this one pretty well, and Mikal Bridges already has a nice, handy 10 points. He's actually outscoring the Magic by himself, and the defense is looking pretty nice at the moment. Forcing a couple turnovers here and there, and then also, you know, doing the same with... it's premiered. Well, the thing is, I've done that with nearly every other stream. Like, I'll set it up beforehand. And for some bullshit reason today, it's saying it started 12 hours ago. Because, yeah, I didn't premiere this. I just planned it. I just planned it out. I just scheduled it, should I say. So, it looks like Doe is out. Dennis Smith Jr. is back. Of course, we have him back for a game which is not favorable to have him in. Bridges just hit the deck. Bridges is a little bit in the shits here. He's looked a lot more animated this season, which I think is a really good thing because we need a little bit more leadership with a group that's sort of younger, on the younger side. I mean, we don't have anyone really older than 30, so players like Bridges are sort of the leaders, you know, because they are the older bracket of this team. So conversely, the Magic have a few older players. I mean, Joe Ingles has just checked in, and he is like 34, man. He's old. But last time, when we played this mob, Joe Ingles came in, had a huge impact. Banchero makes both, and cuts it to 6. But yeah, that's what I'm a little bit fearful about. Gary Harris, I don't think was playing in the previous game, so obviously a pretty good piece for them. Johnson, the pass to O'Neal, takes a dribble and shoots a 3. He knocks it down. O'Neal has woken up from his slumber. Ever since I gave him that pep talk about 3 games ago for being completely shit, he's gone out and scored 10 threes in 2 games, and he's already got a 3 in this one. Harris, the response? No. Ingles with the offensive board, and they'll roll it back out to Harris to have another opportunity at cutting this lead down. This deficit down. Suggs, Bridges nearly tipped it away. Instead, it's a 3-pointer. I mean, talk about fine margins. You get a deflection, and you're probably not conceding that 3. It'd contribute to a disjointed possession. Instead, it's back down to 6 again. Alley-oop. That was a terrible pass, and Claxton tried to do it all in one motion. It's not going to happen for him, and now Bitadze was open under the basket. They weren't able to get the ball there to him. Claxton got back on defense and impacted, and was able to swat Harris out of bounds. And he's going to have to go to the bench. So a different sort of rotation here by JV, because we know that JV in previous games has waited like 2-3 minutes and then taking Clax off. But this time round, you know, 7 or so minutes with Claxton on the floor. That one is deflected out. And it's apparently going to be Magic ball. I thought it was Nets ball there, because I thought it came off Bitadze under the basket with that wraparound. But at the 4.5 second mark, or sorry, there are 4.5 seconds on the shot clock for the Magic. 4:13 on the game clock. DSJ back in. There's no Lonnie Walker, but there is Dennis Smith Jr. So I don't know how much we're winning there. That 3 is off by Suggs from the inbound. We're pushing the pace. DSJ takes it all the way, blew the layup, and then rebound by Dayron. I mean, it wasn't clean, but it ended up in the lap of DSJ, and he was able to knock it in. So we turned something, well, got something out of nothing there. We've started the game really well, 8-14 from the field. The Magic shooting a subpar 38%, 5 of 13 from the field. So pretty good first quarter by the Nets. A much improved defensive showing, of course. Granted, I don't think it was that difficult to improve on the defending of last game. Bridges fouled, but the Magic were in the bonus, so letting him off here a little bit, because, I mean, that was out of absolutely nothing, and Joe Ingles makes the first. So Bridges may go to the bench. He will not, actually. He's going to remain in. Mo Wagner's into the game. A little bit of a certified Hall of Fame menace onto the court. And Cole Anthony is also into the game, who also shot the ball really badly the last time we played him, or played the Magic. And you know what? I think since that point, he's been really, really good for them. So much so that I've been, well, seeing fantasy articles about Anthony being a good option. That's a foul on Gary Harris, who had Bridges as the assignment. Mikal's been really, really good, being assertive. I like the minutes staggering as well. With Cam Thomas, like we had Bridges, or we had all 3 of them in. Then we took Cam off. Now we're taking Dinwiddie off. Mikal remains in, and I think Cam Thomas will return as Mikal goes to the bench in probably the next couple of minutes, or maybe at the start of the, the second quarter. So 23-16. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it. You know what to do. And subscribe if you are new and you're enjoying the coverage. The whole aim of doing these is to bring access or bring a different perspective to Nets games. It's really that simple. Some of you can't watch it. This is a good place to do it. If you need another way of covering it, Banchero's off on the hook shot. That's got to be our ball. Thank you. Could have easily been swung the other way. Mo Wagner was a little bit upset at that one, but good fight by Dayron on the boards. Bro, DSJ, slow down. Bridges for 3. It's good. Mikal is on fire. 26 for the Nets. Bridges is nearly outscoring the Magic by himself. He's got 14, the Magic of 16. Anthony with the flip. That's off, and O'Neal bats it to himself. We push the pace again. O'Neal will swing it across to Dinwiddie. Steps into a 3. That's good as well. We can't miss. We can't miss. Shit, we have hit 6 threes and have only missed 1. We've got the Hornet bug. Oh, wow, Gary Harris for 3. That hits back on, and DSJ with a firm rebound. Hands like a vice. Dinwiddie the layup. That's good as well. And we have another timeout. We have gone, well, from being the specialists at not starting well to being the specialists at starting well. We lead by 15, and every shot is going down. I mean, the Hornets must have felt bad for us. I think they've transferred their powers over because we cannot miss, and we are playing with the freedom that we have not seen. Well, I mean, even though we scored 129 points, it felt a little, or 128 points, it felt a little bit more stagnant the other day. A few less assists involved, but the ball is pinging in this game. Mikal's on my fantasy. I need him to clutch up. Well, yeah, I mean, Mikal is doing bits for you at the moment. Daniel Berry, welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah. Man, what a start. I don't even have words for this start. This is a great start, and this is the second consecutive time where we've played the Magic and been superb. I mean, look at the shooting for the Magic. 5 of 19. Who would have thought that this team was capable of doing this in a quarter? And who would have thought that for a team who shipped off 21 threes on 58% shooting was capable of doing this? And then you see the Nets. I mean, Bridges 14, Dinwiddie 5, the team shooting 64%. 85% from 3. I mean, you cannot complain with this. Far out. Wagner, the Euro, he just lost the ball, and it's going to be retained by the Magic, but DSJ's been pretty good. I think he's been given some really specific instructions to just run with it and not slow down. The acceleration is well and truly needed for this team who's been, you know, there's been stagnancy as a part of their game. They've missed another layup, and Ingles is off. DSJ is going to push it again. Skip pass to Bridges. Gets by the closeout. Good move. Took the extra step. Had the defender in the air, and he scored with the reverse. Mikal has 16. He is tied with the Magic by himself. We're playing more zone. Ingles. High screen DSJ. Stops. Waits. Good cut by Harris along the baseline, and he scores for 2, and it is back down to 15, but that's their first basket in a very long while. We give it to Bridges again, who has been the hot hand in this first quarter. Another layup, and that is another whistle, and it may be on Harris again. So we're in the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Mikal is, bro, we should just have Mikal. Like, we should remove the other 4 players from, you know, the offense. Because, bro, this guy is carrying in this first quarter. And we have Cam Thomas, who was not played in 6 or so minutes, in a little bit of foul trouble. But this is the exact relief you need with Cam Thomas off the floor. You need a player that's reliable and can fill the void. Mikal is 17. He's going for 18. This is the most points by any net in any quarter this season, which is an awesome thing to see as well. He's been doing a little bit of everything, knocking down threes in the corners and getting to the right places. Getting to the free throw line, he's done that a fair bit. Good attack at the rim. He's done everything. And this is exactly what you asked for. Anthony just lost the ball and somehow a circus shot goes down. He lost the ball, was falling to the floor, still was able to regather and somehow bank it in off the window. Dinwiddie will drive and pull up for two. That is not the shot. Dayron did well. And I think that was magic ball. I think that went off Dayron last, but we're going to get the benefit of the doubt. There's no referee overrule, and we will trigger in from the baseline through Dennis. It's Dinwiddie, Dennis, Mikal Bridges, Dayron, and O'Neal. Dayron looking for a pass. Mikal, the change of direction. He had Wagner on skates. And bro, Bridges, Brooklyn Bridges has 20 in the opening quarter, ladies and gents. Feed the man. Wagner, good verticality by Dayron. We push the pace again. Dennis, layup. Nah, that's got to count. No way. Bro, we had a layup and they've called a technical probably a fraction of a second before he's gone up. That is a joke. We had the layup. What's he doing? What the fuck is the ref doing? We've just lost the point because these fucking clowns called a technical as we were on the break. That is absolutely horrendous. Let's have a look at the replay. Dayron did all right, but you could have definitely argued the case if you're Orlando. Plenty of contact there. We had a runway. It was a procession to the rim, and we were denied the 2 points. So now we're going to have to do things in the half court, but no worries. We got Brooklyn Bridges, and that one's been deflected out of bounds. So, just like that. I mean, we had 2 points right there. These fucking bums called a technical. That's a joke. They got let off so badly there. Because we had an easy-ass layup uncontested. That's going to be a foul before it's even inbounded. Bridges will get free throws and we're going to get the ball inbounded as well. Wagner's, I think, going to the bench. There was a little bit of a push on Wagner there. I think that was definitely there. So Bridges is going to get a technical free throw and we're going to get the ball again. So in essence, we sort of make up for that bullshit-ass call that the referees blew their whistle for. They have been very trigger-happy in the first quarter. It's like they bought a brand new whistle and they're just wanting to test it out in basically every circumstance. So plenty of stoppages. Bridges again, body bump. It's another blocking foul, so they've got another foul on Orlando. And there's going to be more free throws coming up here. We never get this whistle, ever. We never, ever get this whistle. Bro, what good defense do the Magic have? I swear it's mythical against us. Like, it is a myth. Like, we never, ever see, in the 2 games this season, like, we scored 124 in the first meeting. In this game, we've already scored 40 points, bro. Mikal is outscoring this team by himself. He's got 23 already in the first quarter. I don't even think KD and Kyrie were capable of this. 24 first quarter points to Mikal Bridges. Anthony will drive. Forced into a pass. O'Neal knocked it away and nearly was able to get the steal. But, mate, this zone defense needs to stay. Brother, the Magic are driving and they've never got that shot available. So they're forced into passes, but the zone defense really helping in cutting the passing lanes off. Oh my God, they've blown another dunk. It was a good cut by Wagner, but he couldn't get it done. And now Dinwiddie, oh my God, from the logo. What are you doing, mate? You've got a bloke on 24 points and you've decided to pull up at the Barclays Center logo. Mate, we're up 21. Stop experimenting. Reinforce this lead a little bit more. So that was a 2-for-1 execution, or lack thereof. Wagner the drive. Oh. Dayron is a little bit upset with that one. And I think, that's very similar to, very similar to the one that wasn't called about a possession ago. I think he went straight up there. I reckon they probably cancel each other out. I think the one before probably was a foul, and then the one just then wasn't, but we got the benefit of the doubt for one of those one way or another. So 2 free throws for Wagner, and he makes the first one, so he cuts that one down to 20. We're up 20. We've scored 41 points. Bridges has 23. He is, or 24. I'm undercutting him a little bit, underselling him. He has had a superb first quarter. I haven't seen a quarter this dominant, well, since the KD Kyrie days. I think Cam Thomas has been pretty close to that at times, but no one has scored such a rate that Bridges has. And here he is. He's got 11 seconds to do something with it. Bridges to O'Neal, back to Bridges, 4 to shoot, cross, layup. Oh my God, he weaves through again. This guy's unstoppable. 26 first quarter points. I have to give this guy a round of applause. Brother. 26. This guy could get a 50-piece today if he's... Bro. I'm in awe. 43 first quarter points for the Nets. 26 to Mikal, dude. He hasn't missed a 3. He's already had 11 shots and he's made 8 of them. And he's gotten to the free throw line 8 times. He's an equal team high plus 21. This team is shooting it as well as Charlotte, if not better. 6 of 8 from 3. 64%. I'll round it up. From the field. Only the 3 turnovers. We had 2 of them in like the first 4 or 5 minutes, and now we've cut down there. 9 of 10 from the line, so we've gotten there. The Magic, bro. Look at the percentages. You contrast it from the other day, man. The Hornets probably shot at like 14 of 24 at least. This was a superb defensive quarter, and even though the turnovers will say otherwise, already out-rebounding them because of the amount of shots they've missed in comparison to us. 15-7 on that front. More free throws, more threes, more field goals made. Mate, it's been an awesome start. A really, really good start. You look at the Magic key players. Wagner's on 2 of 6 shooting. Banchero's got 4 and 1 of 5. Like, they are really struggling in the early going, and they've looked to find a little bit of spark with the bench, but the bench have not given it. Bro, what a first quarter. They're going to have to bench him because he's played 12 minutes, but Mikal is trying to go for 50 points and also end the Magic 9-game win streak. Bro, this guy's just... Well, he's going to get 50 at the half at this rate. He's going for the Wilt record. Incredible Mikal performance. I've never seen KD and Kyrie score this many points in the first. I don't think they ever did it in the Nets' tenure. The last time we played the Magic, we scored 33 points. We outscored them by 9. We also hit 6 threes in that game, and we shot the ball basically just a tick under 50%. But this is a new level of efficiency. When it comes to playing the Magic, bro. Like, that is an absurd start to the game, and an absurd start to the game by Mikal Bridges. He's got 24 points, and the excellent thing is we can just take him to the bench for a little breather, and we can bring on Cam Thomas. So you would assume the pain just continues. Good drive by Wagner, and he scores over Clax, but I think that's also a good thing. Dayron held his own in those minutes on the court. We went on a run with obviously Bridges playing, so good interior defense by Dayron, and Well, now we need to see what this bench unit can do. Cam Thomas is going to assume responsibility of that unit. Here he is now. He's going to drive on Wagner. Shoots a tough step back two. It's off. And a rebound for Anthony. We've got to ensure that we don't put up those... Well, granted, those are easy looks for Cam Thomas. But they've got to... The ball's got to be zinging around. We can't afford to have stagnancy. Here is Thomas. Kick out to DSJ. He's going to shoot a three. And it's well short, but Watford gets the long rebound. The miss was that bad. Dennis, the layup, it's good. And a good little crossover to get into the restricted area and scoop it. Or use the finger roll effectively. So, Magic down 21. That was nearly thrown out of bounds. But Anthony will now fling it across to Wagner, who's playing with this bench. Cross. Gets by Thomas. Layup over Claxton. It's good defense. And, I mean, Claxton and Thomas, this bench unit, wow. I mean, what flexibility we've got. Thomas right in front of the Nets bench. It's off. Rebound by... Bro, how the fuck does Royce O'Neal get out rebounded by Cole Anthony, dude? Waiting for Cam Thomas as well to actually, like, catch fire, because obviously, I mean, he's no Mikal Bridges, but yeah, he's had a pretty slow start. That's good defense by Clax. Wagner wanted a whistle. He's not going to get it. I do think that was active hands by Clax, but obviously a replay is probably going to change my viewpoint there. The ball is going to be inbounded by Anthony to Ingles, and let's see what we do here. Wagner on the perimeter, looking for that handoff back to Ingles. Puts the ball on the floor. Layup by Wagner is good. And, well, they're starting to see a little bit of an opening. A little bit more daylight on the interior. How is that an offensive foul? Absolutely swivel on it, ref. So, those 26 first quarter points by Mikal Bridges was the most by a net in a first quarter since the 1996-97 season. I wasn't even born then, so that is fascinating. Good backdoor cut by Anthony. Good maneuver. Got the layup up. They also got the rebound, but weren't able to get it done on the offensive glass, and now the Nets can regain that 21-point edge. Thomas, good defense by Cole Anthony. Thomas is going to get teed up if he's not careful. Wagner is fouled by O'Neal. We had no numbers back. And this bench is, well, we've got the personnel, but finding it a little bit difficult to actually get going offensively, because Cam Thomas is the guy that is the difference maker. He is the needle mover with, well, regards to this bench, especially with Lonnie Walker out. He's got to play well. And sort of make up that void. We also don't have Finney Smith either. Cam Johnson is into the game for Dennis, so it looks like that's a direct swap every single time one of those two re-enter the game. The other one exits at the 9:24 mark. The 5 on the floor for the Nets is CJ, Royce, Claxton, Cam Thomas, and Trenton Watford. Oh, wow, there's another technical. There is another technical. Bro, this referee, every time I watch him play, he is... Or this time, Wait, can I just speak English for 1 second? Slow down. That referee does my head in, mate. Every time I see this referee, actually lose my shit every single time. Even though we've gotten the run-of-the-mill with calls... Does my head in. Really punchable face, to be honest. Even though he'd probably absolutely kill me in a street fight. O'Neal, Cam Thomas, they're playing a bit of zone now. O'Neal, again, out to Watford. What are we doing, man? 7 to shoot. Oh, wow. Johnson's open for 3 in the corner, and you knew it was off. As soon as he let it fly, Watford maneuvers through, knew he missed it, and was alert for the tip-in, and he scores for 2. So... offensive rebounds lead to buckets, ladies and gents. It's not rocket science. Anthony, Wagner the drive. Again, the layup. This time it's off. Claxton with the presence. And now O'Neal swings it across to Thomas. Layup. Had to be a foul, but Claxton was there for the follow. Was able to maneuver his body to flip it up and in. And the Nets are back up to a 21-point lead. Wagner, it's a foul. No, it's a travel, and Claxton forces the turnover. So, good defensive activity yet again. This has been a very complete game thus far for the Nets. Obviously, a long way to go, but to this point in time, there has never been a period of the game where we've looked out of control, if that makes sense. So, really good positives out of this game thus far. Thomas will slow the tempo. O'Neal thought about the three, shot the three. It rimmed out. Probably should have just done it in one motion instead of hesitating. Usually that stuffs up your momentum. They swing it across to Houston, who's in the game. Wagner the drive. The layup did not get the bounce, but it's going to be free throws. And they have just done pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll with Claxton in the game. And, I mean, it's been a bit hit or miss for the Magic, but they're getting to the free throw line. So in a game where the offense is sort of struggling a little bit for the Magic, you know, this is one area they're staying alive. Kolb, welcome to the stream, fellow countrymen. Just hoping we don't blow the lead. Yeah, well, I mean, no lead is safe with this lot. Seriously. We could be up 40, and I still wouldn't be convinced. Loving the high score? I mean, I'm loving it too. And in case you've missed it and you have just rocked up, Mikal Bridges had a grand total of 26 points. That's right, 26 points in the first quarter alone. He's currently on the bench because, believe it or not, humans need a rest. But, I mean, like, it's a non-negotiable that he played the first 12 minutes of the game. It would have made absolutely zero sense to bench. Dinwiddie is going to shoot a mid-range. How many mid-ranges is this guy going to shoot? Claxton does well to chase up the rebound. Cam Thomas looked a little bit switched off there. But we got the rebound, and now Dinwiddie will swing it across to Johnson, who goes baseline, stops, shoots, and it rattles out. So, a couple of the shot selection moments in this game, a little bit more questionable. Wagner for three, he hits it. I don't know what we were thinking with that. Wagner will cut it down to 16, and we have a timeout here by JV, and it's probably a good one. You know, we can do a few changes, and I can't lie to you, I think Dayron's had a better game than Clax has. And it may be because he was running with that unit that really went on that run with Bridges, but I don't know what it is. I think it's more the offensive side of things has sort of hit a wall. The Magic are shooting it like trash, but the reason they're in this game is because of the free throw number. They've had 11 of those already, shooting it well from the line as well. Mo Wagner leads their way scoring. The Wagner boys lead the way scoring-wise for the Magic, but Mo Wagner doing it at a far higher efficiency. You can see for the Nets here, Dayron Sharp, I mean, he was just on the court for 4 minutes, and we went on a good run that gave us a nice little 13-point buffer in that time. Even though he didn't score, good verticality on defense. And then, well, you can see Cam Thomas is 0 of 6. Imagine if the guy was actually shooting the ball well. That would have been incredibly ideal, but unfortunately, we can't have everything perfect in this world. So, Mikal with 26, and then there's not really anyone else within the realm. Granted, I don't think it's that easy. It's not really that easy, so look, I think the starting lineup has been a success thus far. But the thing is, Cam Thomas, bro, got to start making your shots. Or try draw them whistles. We are under 50% from the field and three. Have not hit a three-pointer in this quarter. That is why, you know, in nearly 5 minutes of second quarter action, we've only got the 6 points to our name. And obviously we started with a 43-point first quarter. It doesn't help that Bridges is on the bench. You hope that him going to the bench means that, or doesn't mean that we're going to, see a fall off. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this team holds up with Mikal off the floor, because we've seen how successful it has been when he is playing. Dayron not better than Clax, man. Well, I'm just saying in this game. In this game specifically, I think Dayron has actually had a better game. Even though box score stats would indicate otherwise. Yeah. Bro, Noah Eagle literally even laughs like his dad. It's crazy, bro. It's like they're cloned, bro. It's like Iron Eagle was cloned into a younger form. It's crazy, dude. I think he was at the Clippers for a few years. It's so, trippy. Thomas had an open three, thought about the pass, instead went himself and scored for three. That's his first make. We called for it, we wanted it, we got it. And that is an excellent result out of the timeout, whether or not that one was drawn up. Banchero's back in for the Magic. He lost the ball. That is, it's probably a foul because Dinwiddie wasn't really disputing the call. Lax over the last 5 games. Yeah. 16, 10, 2.5 blocks, 71% from the field. He's been awesome. But in this game, Dayron's back in. I've actually thought we've held up a little bit more defensively with Dayron on the interior. They've got some bigger guys, and obviously Clax is a slimmer build, so Dayron has been a deterring factor with those layups that the Magic have been trying, and Anthony scores for 2 on the interior, so that's a prime example of what we need players like Dayron and Clax for. Cam Thomas on the wing to O'Neal, pass to Dinwiddie. Now O'Neal again, top of the key 3, it's off, and that is a good zonal possession by the Magic. We didn't even enter inside the arc. Banchero does so and was fouled by Thomas, and that's number 3 on Cam. And I think we need Mikal back in, dude. Bro, Mikal has been on the bench for however long the break was between however long the break was in between the first and the second quarter, plus the 6 or so minutes of this second quarter. Mikal should be ready to come back in. He should be at the scorer's table right now. 18 minutes in a first half for a guy who scored 26 in the opening quarter. That is a very suitable minute allocation. So, it's a 16-point deficit right now. It looks like Mikal's checking back in. I don't know who went to the bench. O'Neal. So maybe Mikal is back in. Nope. I don't know who's in. Wait, is he? I can't see who's blocked off there. I think it is Mikal. Yep, he's back in. So Magic have cut the lead to 15. So we've sort of held stable. Now it's basically the starting lineup in with Dayron in place of Clax. Bridges again. Didn't get the bounce. Dayron with the board. Puts it up and scores for 2. Just too big, too strong. And the Magic had 3 players under there, but Dayron is an elite offensive rebounder. That is no secret. And you can scout as much as you like for him, but, you're probably going to see a little bit of success if you're Dayron sharp. Doesn't change the way he is. Cam Thomas, good bounce pass. Dayron was fouled from behind by Banchero. And it was a good bounce pass. Good little bit of playmaking and facilitation by CT. Bro, Dayron is so good in that area. It's actually ballistic, bro. We haven't had a rebounder as good as he is, for years, man. Free throws, though. I don't know the last time we've had a good shooter or good center that is good on free throws. Those are hard to come by, I do believe. So Dayron the second. Bro, you missed both, man. Come on, Dayron. I'd actually back Claxton a little bit more. Banchero nearly travelled. Anthony into the paint. Bounce pass to Wagner. He blew the layup. Get the rebound. Good work by Dayron to make things difficult. And Cam Thomas with the board eventually. Here is Dinwiddie. The drive. That's got to be a foul. He got it to go anyway. With the right hand. Since we started 6 of 7 from 3, we have gone 1 of 8. Houston sets the feet, misses the 3. Dinwiddie the board. He's going to push the pace as well. Swing it to the corner, Spence. Nope. They look for Bridges. Johnson the 3 in the other corner. It's good. And that's the Nets basketball at its best. As I said earlier in the game, that's textbook. That is another example. Good defensive stop. Good strong rebound. Push the pace. Good bit of passing, swing it from one end of the court to the other, and yeah, utilize the full limits of the court. You're going to see open space somewhere. Cam Johnson is in the corner, knocks down those threes for fun. So 20-point lead, just like that. We'll look back at the box score. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We will be back. We've got a little bit of a hiatus period because there's in-season tournament shenanigans, but outside of that, we will be back next week for Nets Atlanta in about 3 or 4 days' time. I believe it's on the 7th if you're in Australia, and it'll be the night of the 6th if you are in America. And then obviously the other time zones, I don't know. Doesn't really concern me. But yeah, that is the deal right now. That box score is looking very, very good at the moment. CJ just hit his second 3 of the game. Everyone has now gotten on the board. Dennis Smith Jr. has 6 rebounds in 7 minutes. And he's like a 6'1" guard. That is unprecedented. So yeah, I mean, we've done a really good job in multiple things today. The threes, good volume, good amount of makes, good field goal percentage, good amount of free throws, good amount of rebounds. The turnovers are down at 4. And I mean, that's created the separation because defensively, we have been superb. 32% shooting for the Magic. They have only taken 7 threes, so we've run them off the line and forced them to take those shots inside the arc where we've feasted on those. There's been a lot of misses at the rim, and Dayron and Clax have been good at deterring those. And then the free throws, you can see, of course, they have been getting quite a few, but that's also a byproduct of the amount of times they have driven it. So, you know, only a few turnovers for the Magic, but that being said, it don't matter when you're shooting an abysmal percentage from the field. So that is the situation. Also want to get your thoughts. Have any of you listened to the Cam Thomas pod? Very interested to hear your thoughts on that. If you have listened to the interview, I am wanting to actually watch the full thing when I get a little bit of time. It is on the Old Man and the 3 podcast. It's a good hour long, so I highly recommend it. Even though I haven't watched it, I think it'd be a good listen because Cam Thomas's story is really interesting. Beat this fake good team. They're really convinced they are unbeatable. Well, they have been unbeatable. I mean, they have not lost a game since they played us 2.5 weeks ago. So we must be the bogey opponent, at least to this point. But Tardze had a regulation layup, missed it, then missed it again. And it was good persistence by the Nets with that pressure on the rim again. So Cam Thomas will pick up his dribble because he sort of ran into trouble. Dinwiddie will shoot a step back 3, and that's off. Bro, Bridges, man, he scored 26. Give the guy touches. Anthony had an open 3. He bricked that one, but Tardze gets the board, and they're going to roll it back out of Suggs. One more for Banchero. He's going to drive on Johnson, and it's a blocking foul, and the Magic in the bonus, as they were in the first quarter at about this stage. They will head back to the free throw line. Congrats to KD on passing Malone on the all-time scoring list. Well, yeah, he's played for long enough and he's been that good for long enough, so he probably should have eclipsed the top 10 for scoring at some point in his career. So, yeah, congrats to him. Out of all the big three, I've got nothing against KD, really. I know he talks a little bit about the Nets' tenure because reporters ask him about it while he's at Phoenix, which I'll never understand the psychology of. But yeah, I mean, he did a fair bit for the franchise. He persisted when things were going not the way they should have. So fair play to him. The other two, though, man, I got a bone to pick with those two. Harden and Kyrie, man. We've got a foul on Jalen Suggs, and he's been very, very aggressive in the full court. He was pressuring Spencer Dinwiddie right from the moment he got the ball inbounded, and that's probably what the Magic are trying to do now, just bring a lot of pressure. We've brought 4 numbers into the backcourt to sort of aid that. Dinwiddie's got 4 seconds to get it past half court. He does. He's going to drive it. And he was fouled again. And this is probably the one time that Dinwiddie doesn't put a shot up. He actually flinged it out to the perimeter. But he had a shot there, and he probably could have made it as well. I mean, Suggs was there for the defensive work if required. Sharp fakes the handoff to Mikal, gave it a CT instead. Oh my god! Pirouettes! Dayron! Oh! The pirouette! Dude! That's an incredible bit of footwork for a big man, and he scores the 2+1. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous, and he converts the and one. Dude, that was filth. That was filth. That was more filthy than a public toilet. My goodness. That is a foul on Sharp. So we had to respond somehow with a personal foul. So Magic back at the line. Both teams in the bonus now. My God. That was filth. Have I mentioned that? That was filth. Mate. I was mesmerized by that move. So Banchero at the free throw line. There haven't been too many moments this season where I've gone, well, there haven't been too many moments this season where I've gotten up out of my seat, but my goodness, that was definitely, that warranted it, 100%. We've got Whammy in front of the rim here. You can see him on the broadcast, and Banchero was put off by him. A miss. Here we go, Mikal. Drive. Had Anthony on his back shoulder. He shot the midi and he scored 64-42. Mikal got 28. And the lead's up to, I believe, it's game high. Banchero, the wraparound. Blocked by Bridges. Followed by Banchero. So, good defense by the Nets. But, you know, just an extra number for the Magic under the basket there. You can't really blame it because of the initial defensive possession. Bridges gets it again. He's going to drive again. Try create the separation. And he was fouled by Batadze. And that is, well, I mean, Batadze had forced a really, really difficult shot there. And that is a let-off of sorts. Mikal can hit 30 first-half points with 2 free throws made here. He's been nothing short of remarkable in this first half, and it has been an absolute joy to watch. 64-44. I could not ask for anything more in this first half. It has been a superb first half by Bridges and the Nets as well. Claxton returns Dayron some good bench minutes, and obviously that pirouette that I won't be able to stop talking about for the next 3 weeks. Mikal misses number 1. Just keep feeding the man. Seriously. Bridges makes the second. Is up to 29. So, Banchero picked up by O'Neal, who's checked back in for CJ. No, CJ's still in. Dinwiddie, I think, goes to the bench. Banchero at the elbow picks up his dribble. Batadze out to Suggs. I don't know who was supposed to contest that, but they were lost. Where's the foul there, man? Clax is boxing out, dude. Let's have a look. Okay, a bit of a... Yeah, he locked up his arm. That is 100% a foul. And it's going to be more free throws. And Clax is going to go back to the bench for Dayron. Petardze gets the bounce on the first. And Clax will go to the bench on 3 fouls, I believe. So, I'm not even mad with this because Clax, like, as I've said, I think he's actually been second best out of him and Dayron. Dayron, I think, has performed a lot better matchup-wise. Good rebound. Johnson after the second free throw hit back iron for the Magic. And now Johnson will pass to O'Neal. We got to get it to Mikal. What's he doing in the corner, man? Johnson. 2-man game with Sharp. He's going to drive. Turn around on the baseline. It's good. Swish. 2.5 minutes to play in this second quarter. And the Nets have a 22-point lead. It is stagnated from obviously that excellent first quarter start, but that's all we need to do. Bridges the block! And a rebound by Cam Thomas, who came over to support as the ball was in dispute. Thomas, bounce pass. Bridges, Euro, foul +1! Oh! Bro! I don't have much muscle to flex, but I'm flexing it anyway. Mate, the Euro step has been saucy. Saucy. He's got 31 in the first half. Where's the MVP chance at? Mikal has really lifted in the last 5 games as well. I think he's averaging 26. Yeah, I think he's averaging 26 a game in the last 3 or last 5. So, like, this is ridiculous. I mean, he did have a 40-point game against the Hawks, but that's been his best by far. Dayron nearly read the pass again, a deflection as it was in the trajectory of the cutter on the baseline. It's going to be Magic ball. Inbounded to Banchero. It's a 25-point lead for the Nets. Oh! Oh my goodness. That is an absolutely... I mean, I talked about filth before, but that was a filthy dunk on Dayron. Cam the drive, and he was swatted by Petardze, who was there with the help. What the hell was that? I thought there was a drone out, or yeah, drone or something outside. You know what we call that? We call that the Jarrett Allen mentality right there. Either be on the highlight reel. Hold on. Bridges another foul and 2 shots. What Dayron was subjected to was the Jarrett Allen mentality. Either get put on the highlight reel for blocking the shot, or get put on the highlight reel for absolutely getting demolished on the poster. I can't hear chants. This is disappointing, Nets fans. This is disappointing. Bridges gets the roll on the first free throw. This has to be the best first half of any Net I have ever seen. Ever. Not KD, not Kyrie, not Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges. He's nearly got a 40-piece in one half. 34 points. That is incredible. Wagner into the paint. Oh, Bridges, man. He nearly got another block to his name. He couldn't stop the run. I think Dayron's just picked up another foul. I thought it was on Bridges, but it's not going to be. This has been the best response humanly possible to a game where we shipped off 129 to the Hornets without LaMelo Ball. The best response thus far. Long way to go. And I'll tell you what, it would be pretty on brand if fucking Orlando decide to come back in the second half. But man, what a sight for sore eyes. I mean, I'm not saying I have sore eyes, but probably from the last game, I'm still waiting for it to wear off. Cam Thomas. High screen, Dayron. Cam was blocked. Oh my God, it's ended up with the nets. That has to be a foul. Batadze caught Johnson around the neck, or also in the head. That's going to be more free throws. I think that's just incidental contact. They may look for a flagrant, but I think there's absolutely nothing in that. There's a little bit of a verbal confrontation here. Royce O'Neal isn't too happy, and I've sort of forgotten he's existed in this match. Yeah, CJ just got absolutely cleaned up there. That is the European... Wait, is Batadze European? I mean, with that name, he's got to be European, right? That is the European way. A little bit reckless. Bro, what is Royce doing? Like, he came over. Like, he came over to... I don't even know what. Like, he didn't even verbally confront Batadze. He just walked over there and sort of got in his face a little bit. I can't stand KD. He played us, and you should take his plaque down. No shade. I'm just gonna leave it up there. It's a recognition of what's happened and what we've been through. It's a common foul. I'm not really surprised by that. That's just incidental. That's a basketball play. That's two players in dispute for the basketball. Sure, the contact was there. It's a common foul, but no flagrant. Fully happy with that call. If it was later in the game and it was a 1-point game, I probably would have let my bias kick in and say, well, it should have been a flagrant. But as of now, this is exactly what we should have been doing to Charlotte, man. This is the kind of intensity we should have played with. Granted, I don't think we're going to get to see a Mikal performance like this every game, but yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. What the fuck is JV doing? I know we're up 23, but brother, you've brought Dennis on for Mikal Bridges. Who is our 4? O'Neal? Oh, wow. That is well short by CJ on the first free throw. Why has he benched Mikal for the final minute? He played 5 minutes. Just play him 1 more minute. He gets a full 15-minute break in 1 minute. Like, what's the point? I'll never understand that sort of rotational decision. But anyway, it's O'Neal, Johnson, DSJ, Cam Thomas, and Dayron. I suspect we want more stops, but Mikal's been excellent defensively in this game. Anthony drives on O'Neal, layup is off, and we have 2 more free throws to come here, and I think it's on O'Neal. So, 24-point lead for the Nets. All right. So, Anthony, for his second, first is good. They crack 50. But only barely. O'Neal off. Dinwiddie back in. What a weird set of subs in the final minute. We're playing Johnson at the 4. Don't really know what the reason was behind that. We've just gone incredibly smaller to close out this first half, even though the Magic have not done anything with their lineup. So I don't know why we've been compelled to make changes. And by we, here we go. Very, 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 very lucky. Because we nearly had a turnover. The Magic were off to the races. But they flung it out of bounds. Probably a little bit overzealous chasing up that steal. So 36 seconds to play. We get it in the backcourt. Dinwiddie. What the fuck? Pull up 3, man. Go away, Spencer, man. Drive it to the cup, dude. Or you have Cam Thomas. He's given it off to him now, which I can take. One-on-one with Harris. He's going to drive. He's going to shoot at the elbow. And plenty of defensive activity there by Harris. Forced a very, very tough shot. And it is off. So Magic can cut it under 20. Good deflection by Dayron. It goes back into the backcourt. They got 3 to shoot. Banchero will shoot a mid-range, and it was wide open, but he blew it. And that is that. First half done. My goodness. Let me know what you thought about that first half. If you are enjoying the stream, first and foremost, drop a like on it. And if you want to see more of this high energy shit, really, for basically every game this season, or at least in the next couple of months, make sure to subscribe so you're notified of when I go live next. That'll be in a couple of days' time. Probably a few more than a couple. The next game is against the Hawks in about 4 days, but we will be there for that. Doesn't really matter when it is. This was the second most points by a net in a first half since 1996. That is 23. Sorry. Do the math right. 27 years ago. The guy scored 34 points, Mikal Bridges. 34 points. It's time for a box score check, and I tell you what, there's so many good things to say about this first half. And look, we had a lot to say about this defense. And look, there is an issue when I see 23 free throws for the Magic in the first half. However, the ultimate thing that needed to be fixed was just the shooting. Don't give the Magic open looks. Turnovers, they've only had 3. However, look at those percentages. Now, if we did a side-by-side comparison from this game to last game, worlds apart, man. 30% from the field and 33% from 3 in this game. I think against the Hornets, it was pushing 60% in both figures, metrics. So it's been an incredibly good first half. Banchero leads the way, but he's not shooting it very well. And Wagner, who is also in double figures, is not shooting it well either. So those guys have had 13 free throws, and that's why their total is as high as it is. And this game would have been well and truly done and dusted if we could have kept them off the free throw line. Now, the key in the second half is going to be keeping those figures down, because I guarantee you, at halftime, the Magic head coach is going to be like, well, we've had 9 threes in the first half. We cannot win a game of basketball or even get back into the game with only 3 threes. So we know that is a weakness of theirs. They will give us the threes. We got to start making them. And if we allow it and get too comfortable in that sort of game plan, then I think we may be in a little bit of uncertainty, a space of uncertainty. But overall, that has been an incredibly good first half. And if we look at the Nets, wow. Mikal Bridges, man, I can't believe it. This guy has 34 points. He is a plus 29 in 17 minutes. Do you know how ridiculous that is? That is... Bro. You've got to be kidding me. I'm actually really, really baffled by that. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe what I'm seeing. 34 points, plus 29. He has 3 blocks and a steal. 3 of 4 from 3. 10 of 14 from the field. 11 of 13 from the line. Wow. He has done literally everything. Everything. Everything? Everything. Everything? Yeah. Everything. I'm in awe. You know, whoever has Mikal Bridges in their fantasy team, I don't remember who said it, but whoever said it, what is the amount of fantasy points this guy's got right now? Mikal Bridges. In a half. Because he could be on track for triple figures, man. Cam Thomas been playing like the beard at the moment, just throwing it up, hoping for contact. Who would have thought in a game where Cam Thomas goes 1 of 11, we score 73 points? He scored 5 points in a half. The interesting thing is, triple-double watch is on offer for Cam Thomas. He's got 4 dimes, he's got 4 rebounds, so he's actually been not too bad when he's on the court. He's only turned it over once. It's just the shot quality has not been good, and it really doesn't suit the way the Magic play defensively. Like, a lot of the shots we've seen, you know, Bridges make has been off the back of a little bit of off-ball movement, few fast break opportunities. Some of it has been one-on-one, and Mikal has really exploited with those dribble moves. The Euro step's been highly effective. But Cam Thomas is a little bit different in that regard. He doesn't have as much pace. He really relies on his handle. And he plays a lot of one-on-one ISOs. So, like, you know, the way he's playing doesn't really suit because the Magic have had that one covered well and truly. And Cam Thomas doesn't have the size either to sort of bully his way to the basket. So, yeah. But, I mean, even with CT not performing, you've got so many other players who have been doing wonderful things. Cam Johnson hasn't had to do too much, but he's been pretty good with the 9 points and the 5 boards. Pretty no-fuss sort of game. Dinwiddie's chucked up a lot of irrational three-pointers. I say a lot of. 2 of his threes. But he's a plus 23. He's been a part of the group that really has made a difference. Day'Ron Sharpe has been excellent today, and people won't give him the plaudits, but in 10 minutes, lost my voice. In 10 minutes, the guy has only got the 5 points and the 4 rebounds and the dime, but Clax has played 13 minutes. Day'Ron's played 10. Day'Ron is a plus 21 and Clax is a 0. I think part of that has to do with Day'Ron being on the court when Mikal Bridges is on, but defensively he's held up well. He's been a good deterring factor. I think they've gone at a far lower percentage at the rim when Day'Ron is on the floor compared to Clax. So there was a couple of games, like at least I reckon 2 or so games ago, where I was pretty unhappy with the fact that they were taking Day'Ron or putting Day'Ron on and sacrificing the Claxton minutes. Today, I would like to see Day'Ron play at least 20 minutes. Obviously, if the Magic start shooting threes, then you've got to adjust accordingly. But the way the Magic are playing, Day'Ron, like, it's playing right into our hands with that Day'Ron personnel decision, if that makes sense. Dennis has been really good with the rebounding side of things. I mean, he's already got 7 boards in 8 minutes, so he would have been on track for like 50 rebounds if he played a full game. So he's been really good with the 4 points, the 3 assists. He's done a little bit of everything, a good block. But what more can you say about Mikal Bridges? What more can you say? Spencer been good lately, but he throws a lot of threes. It's just like the 2 threes that he makes the decision on are so horrifically bad that you forget about all the good he does. It's that bad of a 3. Mikal looked at the Magic's win streak and said, nah. Well, we did the same thing with their win streak last time. I think they'd won 5 or 6 on the trot. And we came in to that Magic game not looking like the favorites, and we just fucking killed him in the second half. But in this game, like, it's been from the start. So the key now is the consistency. Is this going to carry over to the second half? And I think, bro, we've got to push for 60, man. Mikal, I don't think is going to get there, but he has to get at least 50. And I think his personal best is 45. So unless he falls into a pit of misses, bro, he's got to be pushing 50. And I think we've got to do everything possible to get the ball to him. The Magic will regroup and they'll probably be like, oh, well, we have to be a little bit more aggressive with the way we defend Mikal. But even when they are defending aggressively, he's at 13 free throws. So It's like finding the balance of getting the right level of aggressiveness so you force the miss, but you don't foul. It's awesome to see. If Saba hasn't taken down that Carlton poster, there's no way KD comes down. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you would have thought at this point I would have thrown in the towel with that club. But yeah, no, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good year. Change the player spotlight. I think we have to. Ladies and gents, this is the first time this season. This is a first. This is a first where mid-game I change the player spotlight. Mikal Bridges has stuffed the stat sheet in the first half. 34 points. 2 rebounds. 1 assist. 1 steal. 3 blocks. This is one of the most ridiculous stat lines I've seen from a net in a half for years. Just because of the way he's done it. He's been so smooth with it. He has been scoring from all areas. Like, you look at it, it's not from one exclusive area. Shot the ball well from everywhere. Gotten to the line a crap ton. I don't think I've seen someone, a net, shoot this higher volume of free throws in a half alone. Ever. Like, this is a first half I've never seen from any net ever. And that's obviously showing my level of fandom with the Nets, how it hasn't been actually that long. But, mate, it's been a pleasure. I mean, a lot of people older than me who have been fans since the 2000s, you know, would have never seen anything like this, because this is actually, in fact, in case you've missed it, the biggest scoring half, or second largest in 27 years. 27 years, dude. A quarter of a century since someone scored at this rate in a half. Wow. I've said it before, Mikal's action looks heaps like KD. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's sort of like KD has a little bit more slingshot about his shot. Mikal looks a bit more like stiff with his arms, but yeah, I mean, the length is something really noticeable. I think the other thing to note, how to beat the Orlando Magic, play the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, I mean, that's how it looks at the moment. I don't want to jinx it. But I think the other thing to note, we're up 15 on the boards. And that's obviously come with a lot of misses for the Magic. And the turnover number, we had 2 in probably the first 5 or so minutes of the game. Since that point, 2 turnovers. So the key is, like, Bridges has scored this much. He scored 34 points, but he's only had the 1 turnover. And I think that is probably the most impressive thing as well. He has been such a focal point of the offense, but he hasn't turned the ball over. And there are games where he looks very, very clunky and it looks very dodgy, very ropes watching him at times. But no, in this game in particular, this is just about, well, this is the best game, or that was the best half I've seen from any net ever. For so many reasons. So many reasons. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it, and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Atlanta next week. That is a fill-in game. It wasn't originally planned. Then we have the Wizards after that. So instead of playing the Bucks and the Celtics potentially in the in-season tournament playoffs, if you will, we're playing, well, worse off teams. So a good opportunity to win those, but right now we live in the present, and right now, Mikal Bridges, bro. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Is this sustainable? I've got no idea. Finally, a game where we look really good both ends of the court. Well, yeah, it took long enough, didn't it? Yeah, I don't think we've had a game like this season. We've had some really good offensive games, but defensively we've been rubbish. For example, last game, Exhibit A. Then we've had some really decent defensive games. I mean, albeit against weirder opponents like the Heat, we held them to 105. We held the Wizards to 94. Could have easily lost that game, to be quite honest, but wow, we've got a really tough run of games as well after next week, where there's only 2 games. We've got the Kings, the Suns, the Nuggets, and the Warriors in 1 week, all a part of that West Coast road trip, one of the toughest trips in basketball. But yeah, we're up to the 3rd quarter of this game. Get excited. Hopefully, I'm hoping for a Mikal 60 piece, but obviously only the most optimistic can think of that prospect happening. So if you are enjoying, let us know. All right. Players resumed for the second half. Anthony Black is back in. And I forgot he existed, if I'm quite honest. Wagner 4-3. No, he's not going to shoot it. Gets into the paint. Shoots over Dinwiddie and hits. So a good start for the Magic. Well, they're going to need to knock those down first and foremost, because they weren't doing that at nearly enough of a high rate. Nets are going to have to remain consistent on what they're doing. Wow, that was a bad miss by Claxton. He's no Day'Ron Sharp. Banchero to the wing for Black. He's going to drive on Thomas. Good defense. Johnson came over to help. Dinwiddie read the pass. That was way too lofted. Knocked it into the backcourt. They got 7 to shoot. Suggs will take it downhill. Flip one off. It's off, and Bertadze with the follow. Just saying, Day'Ron is not allowing that in a game like today. So 2 early buckets for the Magic. Thomas nearly lost the ball. Good intensity by Black. And it's an offensive foul. So that is the start you do not want. And let's have a look. That was such an unnecessary thing by Clax. And he's going straight to the bench. I am very happy for this to happen. Like, we can afford to do this in a game like this where Day'Ron has been good. He's been really good. So I'm happy to see this in the second half. Banchero will drive on Dinwiddie, the spin. Extra pass to Bertadze. Picks up his dribble. Good defense. Wagner on the perimeter. Got 3 to shoot. Wagner gets into the paint. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Open 3. And it's off. Bertadze is down. It's a 5-on-4. We got to capitalize on this. No big man. Thomas is open. Didn't shoot, which is very unlike him. Here is Thomas. 1 more for Dinwiddie. To the corner for Bridges. He's open. And he misses. Johnson with the offensive board. Quickly flings it to Thomas. 1 more for Dinwiddie. Catch and shoot 3. That's good. Well done, CJ, with the recycling of the possession. Excellent shit. Excellent shit. Banchero will look to respond here. He backs down Dinwiddie out to Wagner. Why is he like 15 years open? And that has to be a new metric for measuring the amount of space he had, but far too open there. That's his second 3 of the game. Dinwiddie is doubled. And it was flung out of bounds by the Magic, who are playing a new level of defensive intensity. Bertadze to the bench. So are they playing small ball, or what's the deal here? Bertadze, did he trip up? Yeah, he just ran into Cam Thomas. All right. So Dinwiddie nearly lost the ball. Then he did lose the ball. Suggs, drive, Euro, and the layup. We've got to call a timeout. We've got to call a timeout. If this possession doesn't amount to anything, Dinwiddie the drive, that had to be a foul. There were like 4 players that blitzed him, basically. That's the 4th foul on Jalen Suggs as well. So you sense that Jalen Suggs is probably going to foul out trying. Let's have a look. It looks like there was a hack from behind there. Wow. Spencer, bro. I mean, for a guy that does a lot of complaining about the whistles he gets or doesn't get, He's not as efficient at the free throw line as you would suspect. A lot of the time, he's arguing to go to the line to shoot 1 of 2. He makes the second. So, I beg they don't fall out of this habit of feeding Mikal. It's really simple. Dumb it down. Wagner pivots and is fouled by Dayron, so that's another foul. And this is just one area this is the only area keeping him alive in this game. The only area. I just realized that the Magic are on a second night of a back-to-back. Forgot about that, so. Wagner at the free throw line. He makes the first. All right. Second is good. Dinwiddie will bring it forward with the lead at 15. Magic have trimmed into the deficit, but bro, the Mikal touches, where are they? There it is. Mikal, skip pass to Thomas on the wing. Bang! Corner tray is good. And he created a little bit of separation with the pump fake. So CT makes his first bucket of the second half. The same amount that he made in the first half. It was 1 of 11. How was that not an offensive foul? Banchero's just open under the basket. It was an excellent fling to Banchero. And it's back down to 16. Bridges will drive. Layup. That's another foul. And it's Wagner who will pick it up. There's going to be a lot of players in foul trouble when this game is nearly all said and done. Wagner's picked up his third foul. Mikal could honestly make 50 points off the back of just getting free throws. Like, the good thing about the Magic, like, oh my God, Mikal, man. The good thing about Bridges, the Magic getting a lot of free throws is that we're still running with them in that department. Like, we're not getting outdone on free throws too much, even despite absolutely giving up a shit ton of them. So Wagner on the outside, lead at 17. Wagner will drive. Good defense by Dayron. Get the rebound. No. Mo Wagner on the outside. Dayron's there. That was a stupid pass. He's passed it off the backboard to himself. Numbers collapse. Black weaves through, shoots the mid-range and hits. And, I mean, that was definitely not drawn up by the Magic. That was not a set play. They've started the second half really well. Really got to be careful that we don't fall into bad habits, which we know do exist. Bridges shoots a midi, and that's off. Wagner with the board, and that's Franz. Banchero will back down Bridges. Johnson helps out, which means the 3 was open for Wagner. He drove instead and scooped it up and in. It's back down to 13. Dinwiddie. We've got to get a stop now. Got to get a stop now. Oh! We're very, very lucky. That was good defense by Anthony Black. Dinwiddie just lost the ball. Anthony Black is absolutely glued to Dinwiddie. I mean, that is a good bit of defensive work. I don't think that was a foul, but we got to not fall into the trap of this Dinwiddie overuse. Oh my God, CJ, you fucking idiot. I don't know why JV has not called a foul yet. They have just... That was so dumb. I don't know who just flung that pass forward for Orlando, but they have just let us off there because it was like a 3/4 court heave forward. that is a good timeout. We desperately needed that because, I mean, Magic cut the lead to 13 and we don't have the offensive answers at the moment. We don't have the offensive answers in this second half thus far. Luckily, the game isn't like out of reach. Mikal has not made a field goal yet in this second half, and I don't know if that's down to... I don't really know what that is down to. Is it as simple as saying, well, the break actually hurt his momentum? You could say that. Mikal does have 35, though. We have only scored 8 points in the quarter. We are nearly at the halfway point of this third, and the Magic already have 17 points. So the defensive intensity is lowered from a Nets perspective, and that's probably a lot to do with the offensive sort of shit that has been really struggling in this game, or sorry, this second half, where we just haven't been able to score the ball nearly as freely as we were. The Magic, I mean, their shooting splits have lifted. It was at 30 and 33% respectively. It is now up to 37 and 36%, and they've gotten to the free throw line a little bit as well. So Wagner's been their most efficient, but I mean, they've gotten a ton of free throws. So even though they aren't shooting the ball well, those free throws are really letting them off. And also on the second night of a back-to-back, we're giving them a lot of easy points. They're preserving a lot of energy for the 22 points they've gotten from the line already. So we would be in a very commanding spot if all we could do was just keep them off the free throw line. But of course, we've got to have a game. We've got to have a game until the very end, of course. We've got to keep teams in it. Why are we not playing Lonnie? He's injured. He's out for a couple of weeks with a hamstring strain thus far. So 1 to 2 weeks, I think that one is. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like on it. Show your support. Subscribe as well if you are new as well. We'll be back for Nets Atlanta next week, which is the next game in about 4 days or so. Yeah, that's the deal. Suggs just flung it out of bounds. He flung it to a spectator, of course, on their phone. This is why you don't go on your phone at a basketball game. You will get hit, especially if you're in the front row. Especially if you're in the front row. Watch the game. I don't even it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their own fault. Off-ball work being done here to try free up Cam Thomas. It's good defense. We couldn't get it to Cam or Mikal. We do get it to CT now, who, on the move, scores for 2 out of the timeout. We love to see it. And that's his second bucket on his second attempt in this second half. So that's a very good positive, given the very, very bad start from the field. 1 of 11 in the first half. Banchero will body his way to the basket, and he's way too big, way too strong. Don't understand how Cam Thomas ended up on Banchero, but here we are. Cam Thomas will bypass half court. Uses the Dayron screen, the kick out to CJ in the corner. It's good defense. Thomas, drive, runner, it's good. And this is the positive sort of dynamic we have going here. If Mikal can't get the ball, Cam Thomas can just make some shit happen, and it's an instant bailout. Mo Wagner in the corner for 3. It's good. Bro, why the fuck do players that don't shoot the 3 ball historically well? I don't know how well Mo Wagner's shooting it. Why does he have to shoot it that well today? Cam Thomas again. Step back 2 in the mid-range. You knew it was short the moment he shot it. And it's becoming a little bit predictable. Cam Thomas just got absolutely mowed down by Jalen Suggs. That's a huge foul. And I don't even think Jalen Suggs was looking. Oh, he was looking. He just almost hip and shouldered Cam Thomas. Probably a little bit of mayo put on it by CT, but that is a big, big foul to concede, because that is personal number 5 for Jalen Suggs. And that's going to mean he's going to have to sit till the last quarter. And he's been a really good part of this defensive lift in the second half. Bridges will drive, stops. Johnson, oh, that's got to be a foul. Where the fuck is the foul? It's a 5-on-4. CJ's got to get back. They can cut it to single digits with the 3 here. Banchero looking for Wagner. Bro, he's too big, too strong. It's a 10-point game, and they are shooting 77% in the quarter. What has happened? Bridges shoots a midi. Bro, he was hitting those in the first half. He's missed, I think, every single field goal in the second half. So we've crashed back down to earth, and the Magic are going on a run. Wagner, the block by Day'Ron Sharpe. And now Johnson. It's going to be... No, it's going to be Nets ball. In transition, CJ drove it. Was this a block? Yep, you betcha it was a block. So CJ ran a bit out of control, lost it out of play. It's still going to be Nets ball on the baseline, but we need a score, man. We need a score. Cam Thomas is probably going to be that guy. Drive and the runner again. Oh my God, an offensive foul, dude. Brother, I hate this, man. What has happened in the second half? It's just gotten way too predictable, man. If it's not Mikal, it's Cam. And if it's not Cam, well, there's not much else, apparently. Banchero's probably going to take Dinwiddie on here. Oh, that's a good bit of defense by... Spencer Dinwiddie forced an incredibly tough shot by Banchero, and we ended up forcing a miss. Here's Johnson. 3 was open. He's airballed the fucking 3. What the hell is going on in this third quarter? This team can't shoot. Harris in transition, it's off. And that is a big let off. DSJ gets it ahead. Johnson with the layup, it's good. And it's a timeout. And Dennis came over to help CJ, and I think he slipped over himself. Potentially a little bit of spillage right there, but that's well done by DSJ. That's well done. I mean, we need some buckets urgently. And, well, DSJ flinging it ahead. He's been really good at pushing the pace in this game, and yeah, we needed that. We needed that. Are we out of the in-season tournament? Yes. Okay, we're going to do a little poll. Start a poll. How many for Mikal? And we're going to go 40 plus, 45 plus, 50 plus, 55 plus. Okay. Start the poll, and we'll hear your thoughts on it. That is, we've got a nice little poll going for you now. We'll do the check and see what the deal is. We have only scored 14 points in the third quarter. And Mikal has only scored 1. He was 10 of 14 at the half. He is now 10 of 17. So he has not made a field goal. He's only made the 1 free throw, which is a little bit of a concern because, I mean, yeah, like, we don't want to see that. Given the good start. I mean, the good thing is Cam Thomas was 1 of 11. He is now 4 of 14. So he's actually not missed in this quarter, but only the 14 points in the quarter. We haven't seen nearly the same amount of flow that we did in the first half. And I think that's going to really come if we can get the stops. And that's also interdependent on us making shots. We'll be able to get more stops if we can make more shots. And in this third quarter, I don't know if we've been a bit more prone to mistakes. We have 8 turnovers, so we've had 4 turnovers in the quarter. The Magic have lifted their intensity, so we've needed to be responsive to it, and I don't think we have enough. So, yeah, that's the deal. Yeah. It's a nice little 12-point lead, but it is nowhere near safe. I mean, this third quarter has flagged that there is an Orlando Magic team that has rocked up today, indeed, even though the first half probably didn't indicate it. So we've got a lot of work to do. Still, it would help by getting a stop on this possession. I would like to see us get a few stops in, consecutively, so then we can get it out to maybe a 16, 17-point lead. Wagner to Wagner. Good deflection by DSJ. I think he's been pretty good thus far, as I've made it be known. Wagner, the kick out to Anthony, who, bro, I don't even know who the fuck was anyone even thinking about closing that shot down? Like, Anthony even hesitated and no one went for the closeout. So, inside 3 minutes, they've got it down to a single-digit deficit. Dinwiddie drives, and the runner is good. And that's a smart play because there was a window of opportunity there. And Dinwiddie well and truly took it. We have not played Clax for like the entire third quarter. And that is another 2 for Wagner. So, brother, Mo Wagner is actually being made to look good. Even though he probably is. Dinwiddie got rid of Wagner and scored for 2. So a couple good pieces of offense there by Spencer Dinwiddie to ensure that this lead remains out of reach for Orlando to make up. Or this deficit, should I say. Anthony, the bounce pass to Wagner. O'Neal's back into the game. Ingles wraps around the screen. Harris for 3 over Bridges. That's off. Rebound Dayron. That is a good bit of defensive work there by the Nets. I'm happy with those 3s. They weren't wide open, so... Oh, wow. Dinwiddie. 3 is good! Yes! And all of a sudden, I feel more comfortable again. 14-point lead. You get another stop. You get the lead out further. And I will well and truly take that going into the half. That's an offensive foul! Bro, Royce is like on demon time today. Like, he's been going into this game with a little bit of an attitude. Like, he just ripped the ball away from Wagner as well. It looks like he's channeling a bit of aggression, which I sort of like, because he's pretty soft at times. It's a lot of fake toughness. Dinwiddie, Dayron, kick out, O'Neal, swing for Dennis Smith, and he fucking traveled. Idiots! All right. We've got another turnover. That's number 5 in the quarter. This is why they're in the game, partially. Got to cut the turnovers down again. We always have one quarter in a game which we feel the brunt of it when we turn it over. So, oh wow, we got a steal. DSJ dunk. Oh, he blew it. He blew the fucking dunk. And we've got a foul on Anthony. What is Dennis doing? He's going for highlights, and he couldn't even get the basics right. Oh my goodness. Mate wasn't even looking at the basket. He just thought, oh, this is my regulation YMCA gym dunk. Oh wow, that has to be a foul. Dinwiddie scores. Quality jumper on one leg. It's back out to 16, and Dinwiddie has been huge. He's got 13 in the quarter, so sort of been swept under the rug, that third quarter performance by him. Wagner, good defense by Bridges. That could have nearly been an offensive foul. Ingles was open for 3, and that is way, way, way too easy. This is what happens when you collapse the defense. You allow the open looks, and right in front of the Nets bench, Ingles cuts it back down to 13. Bridges 1-on-1. Dennis, oh my god, it's a 3 for Dennis. Bro, don't even shoot those ever again, man. I thought you would learn. Unless you're making 100 straight of those at practice, you don't shoot those. Wagner will get the screen set for him. He's got Dennis on him now. Wagner drives baseline. It's good defense. Wagner. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Mo Wagner, of course, one of the most unlikable players on the Magic. I actually like the Magic team, but I hate this guy's guts. He gives me serious Embiid energy, even though Embiid is... like, he's an ultimate shit stirrer, this guy. Scores another 2, +1. He's not even that good, and he's just been on a tear in this third quarter. Like, there's just no stopping him at the moment. And so we've had Clax on the bench for the best part of the second half, the third quarter. It rims out. Rebound O'Neal. Okay. Let's see if we can get this lead out a little bit more to a likable margin. Dinwiddie's going to shoot a 3, isn't he? Nope, he's going to drive. And that's a foul. Wagner knocked it away. Dinwiddie nearly had the scoop. Well, it was wide open. But all he needed to do was just grasp onto the basketball just a little bit more so. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws, 1.9 to get a shot up for the Magic. And Dennis is getting ready to check back in, I do sense. He does return now. Obviously, for defensive purposes, Thomas was in for 1 possession. He goes to the bench now. And Spencer Dinwiddie will shoot 1 more to get the lead up to 13. And it is good. So they've got 2 seconds to take it the length of the court. And nothing stupid, please. Nothing stupid. Up 13. I would well and truly take this into the second half or the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness. That looked really good on the broadcast. Wasn't even close. That is 3-quarter time. It's 98-85. And in that quarter, the Magic outscored us 34-25. So definitely, I mean, they've exponentially grown in output for scoring. 9 turnovers for the Nets in total. They had 4 in that quarter. Cam Thomas made all 3 of his shots, and Spencer Dinwiddie has been pleasantly good. 22 points in the game, so he's been pretty solid in a quarter, which, like, Mikal had 34 in the first half, and he's gone and scored 1 in the third quarter. And I don't think all of that is down to bad shot selection because he only took 3 shots. We had to be a little bit better in trying to free him up. CJ, I don't think, really scored. Claxton has only played 14 minutes and Dayron's played 22. I think that's a really interesting takeaway from the game, at least to this point. DSJ has had a solid performance. If he doesn't shoot a 3, it's a perfect performance. He's had 8 rebounds already, 4 assists, a steal and a block. He's been pretty good. Overall, good all-round game. Cam Thomas, as we said, he scored all 3 of his baskets in the third quarter. Much lower volume compared to the first half, but I'd rather him take less of the right shots than more of the bad shots. So he's got 12. And yeah, that's really the way things have gone in this game. We're playing more of an 8-man rotation. But you know what? I'm sort of happy with this. I think it could have been a lot worse. I think that first half has really done us a lot in terms of giving us that cushion so we could have one of these quarters. But even still, like, we had a pretty iffy quarter, had 5 turnovers in it, didn't shoot the ball. Well, we didn't shoot it too badly, but the problem was that we weren't getting it into the hands of the player that was setting the world alight in that first half. So naturally, you could sense a little bit of a fall off offensively, and that's sort of given us a little bit of a hit defensively, but there still is 12 minutes of basketball to play, quite frankly, and we've got, you know, the fact that we only got outscored by 9 in that quarter, even though we did have a few iffy moments. I mean, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, because it could have been a hell of a lot more, and we can play as bad as that quarter again. Obviously, I don't want to, but we can play as bad as we just did and still win the game. So, I mean, it's just operation, get the job done, be responsible with the basketball, protect the paint, and that's all I can really ask for. Don't let the offense get stagnant. Dinwiddie shoots another 3, and I don't want to see Dinwiddie jack up 3s at such a percentage. What the fuck? Anthony had an open 3. Bro. Spence, you got to stop complaining. He thought there was a foul on the previous play, but you've just got to move forward. He has improved in that department because he was a serial complainer about 4 years ago. The technical does not go down. So the score remains, and the Nets will have possession because Cole Anthony missed the wide open three. Dinwiddie will handle the rock. We've got Claxton, DSJ, Cam Thomas, and O'Neal, the 5 on the floor. O'Neal playing the small ball 4. Cam Thomas with responsibility without your boy on the court. Mikal Bridges, CT wanted a foul. Didn't get it. I don't want to see these threes being shot at these. Oh my God. It's so infuriating when we jack up rubbish and then you've got nobodies knocking down threes in the corner. Spencer. Screen by Clax. Dennis in the corner. Drive, bounce pass. Excellent look for CT. He's got to hit those, and he does. We crack 100, and Cam Thomas has not... Well, he has missed one shot, but he's shooting the ball excellently well in this second half after an incredibly slow start, and O'Neal knocked it away. Got the steal. Alley-oop. Dennis! Mate, Royce can't actually pass it normally, but he can somehow nail every single lob pass. Dennis with another steal. This is what we like to see. He's going to push it. He's going to leave it to the trailing Dinwiddie, who gets by Anthony. Layup. Oh my God, man. You've got to pass it to Clax. The dump off was there. And, well, that's the momentum we needed. If we get that basket, already out to 17, and I am far more comfy than I would have felt at the end of the third quarter. So, Banchero to Harris, who shoots over Cam Thomas, and that is a bad bit of shot selection. Cam Thomas will be picked up by Harris, and now he's got Anthony on him in a switch. Dennis back to Cam at the logo. He's going to drive it, and he... Wow, that's a good move. He hung... You know, took the step at the right time, if that makes any form of sense. We've gone on a 7-0 run. Cam Thomas has led the way and facilitated that. Banchero now top of the key. They're looking for a cutter. There is none. Now Cam in a switch. Guarding Banchero. It's a good move. Good cut by Harris along the baseline. And it's back down to 15. And we've got about 9 or so minutes to play. Getting ready to check in is Mikal Bridges. Dinwiddie will... Okay, there's going to be a foul there because Anthony was in a tie-up with Claxton, and obviously that is a mismatch of huge proportions. So, yeah. DSJ's been quality, man. He's had a really, really good game. And that's another game, like a style of game that won't be appreciated, you know, because he does the more intangible work. Cam Thomas is going to drive again. Dennis in the corner for 3. Bro, stop shooting him. Good bat by Claxton. Dennis chased it up, and he got the 2 to go. So he redeems himself after a pretty horrific-looking 3-point attempt there. So lead back up to 17. We've already got 107 points in this game. Excuse me. And Dennis, with another stop, he forces the offensive foul on Joe Ingles. Just being that harassing sort of pest that will not go away. And Joe was trying to send it away. Try to use the fly spray, but in the end it was a little bit faulty. And it was an unsuccessful attempt. So Cam Thomas. Oh my God, that is an incredibly tough shot, but Claxton bounced it into the hardwood to get the rebound, and Thomas is open for 3. It's off. Rebound by Anthony, but good persistence on the boards yet again by the Nets. Anthony, the 8:30 mark. Bro, what is Royce doing, mate? He's giving him 5 feet of space on the 3. Lucky the shot didn't go down. Dennis Smith will look for Claxton, maybe. Nope, he's going to drive down the middle. and was fouled on the drive by Joe Ingles. Had been beaten for pace there, and it will be a side out for the Nets. Nice, we got 46 people in chat. That's pretty quality. Is Paolo in? He is in right now. Those who are enjoying the stream, make sure to make your support known and drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new as well. Got a donation button if you'd like to support the show in another way. Bridges, the pass was cut off to the corner. Dennis Smith was there waiting, but it never got there. Now the magic through Banchero. Picks up his dribble. 1-2 with Ingles. Got Claxton guarding him on the perimeter. Banchero will drive baseline. O'Neal comes over for the help. Anthony with the cut and the reverse 2. Good switching of hands, and it is back down to 15. So it's hovered at this margin for a good portion of this last quarter. And that's all we need to do. That's all we need to do. O'Neal gives it back to Dennis, who's going to drive, and he got by Houston and scored for 2 more. And there is a foul as well. At the 7:21 mark, it is another excellent move by DSJ. Quality layup. Had the defender beaten. And, bro, I think this may be the best game I've seen Dennis play. He played a good game in the first game of the year. Bro, Dennis is on triple-double watch, and he's on the bench. He's got 10, 10, and 6. Dennis is off on that free throw, so Anthony on the drive. Early offense. Good scoop with the left hand this time, switching it up. Cam Thomas was right there, but that's some good offense by Orlando. They're going to need to draw upon a little bit more of that because time is not on their side. And we're going to get a timeout by the Nets at the 7:03 mark. So, long way to go. But the Nets are in a pretty commanding place. If we look at the box score, Mikal Bridges, in case you missed it, had a 34-point first half. Second largest scoring half of any net in the last 27 years. Since that point, he has only scored 1 point. And you probably would have figured at that point, well, the game's gone because we've been relying on that guy for, well, our scoring in the first half. But a number of other players have, really chipped in. Cam Thomas has 17 now. He started the game abysmally. He was 1 of 11 in the first half, but it's like those two switched roles, Mikal and Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas in this second half is 5 of 8. And Spencer Dinwiddie also had 13 points in the third quarter. He has 22 in total, and he's shot the ball pretty well as well. But yeah, I mean, Dennis off the bench, 9 rebounds or defensive rebounds, 10 overall, 6 dimes, 2 steals, 1 block, 10 points in 16 minutes. Really efficient, high-quality minutes for Dennis. Royce O'Neal's actually been pretty solid as well. He's got 5 dimes and 6 boards. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of rebounding, especially when you're holding on to a lead, because you don't want to let oppositions back in, especially when you're committing 5 turnovers in a quarter like we did in the third. We have to look after it, and get those extra opportunities and also defend, our own glass. So, free throw number hasn't been great, but we're actually, even though we've been sending the Magic to the free throw line at will, we've also got the same amount of free throws, even though we may not be converting them at the same level. The threes have fallen off since the first quarter. We were 6 of 8 from 3. We've evened off. Even though we're shooting at 40%, it's still pretty good. But the Magic just aren't shooting it nearly as well as they have needed to. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. It's always going to be difficult. You may have a little bit of fatigue about you. Cole Anthony and Mo Wagner have been excellent off the bench for them. And Banchero has been a little bit off, but he is also on triple-double watch. Wagner's got 20, but they have turned the ball over. They're getting killed in the rebounding. They're getting killed in the shooting splits. And really, that 34-point first half just was never going to be easy to come back from if you're a Magic, or looking at things from a Magic perspective. So, Mikal, 35 points. It's been a quality game by him. That's what we needed in the first half. And then obviously we've seen Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, even Dennis, fill in and provide some really good backcourt minutes for this team. Bridges on the wraparound. He's got a... Where the fuck is he sending that, bro? It was the right idea, but he thought he was passing it to Bol, not Dennis Smith Jr., dude. Wow. So, 7 or so minutes to play. It is still a 15-point game. They have not made any inroads on that deficit they are facing, the Magic. So, 5 on the floor for them. Oh, wow, we have spillage. Oh, no. Bro, Noah Eagle sounds exactly like Iron Eagle, and it's even more emphasized by the fact that he emphasizes the spillage. He emphasizes the spillage. Says it the same way. Alright. How good would a conversation be at the dinner table with those two? That'd actually be a really interesting listen. Wagner on the outside. Houston. You'd think you'd be listening to two broadcasters the whole game. Well done defensively by Dennis, who nearly caused the tie-up, and Claxton, who came over with the help defense, deterred that Wagner shot, and it was off. And now Cam Thomas picked up by Houston on the outside, who's filling in for those Suggs minutes while he's on the bench. Thomas badly missed the three, and a rebound by Wagner. Picks up his dribble, cross-court for Suggs, who's actually back in. Anthony, rhythm three, that's off. And Dennis with another rebound. It's like he's got springs in his shoes. He's gotten so many rebounds, just skying in. O'Neal, skip past to Thomas, gets by Wagner, who actually... Well, I thought he was beaten, but he knocked it out of play, and it will be another possession for the Nets here from... Well, they'll inbound it right in front of the Magic bench, so you can imagine there's a little bit of banter being flung from that end. O'Neal to the bench, Johnson in, Dinwiddie returns for Dennis, so really good minutes by Dennis. Claxton is closing this one out, it seems. Bridges, going to face up Wagner, one-on-one ISO, cross, good move, and he's going to be fouled, and it was a late whistle, but it was called. And it was called as the ball was sitting up on the rim. It took felt like half a minute to go down, or not. They love that little bit of extra suspense. We will see more Mikal free throws. This is the only place Mikal has gotten points in this second half, which is sort of hectic, sort of crazy. But he makes the first free throw there. We just need to get the job done now. 5:50 to play. It's all about controlling the game, controlling the tempo, not turning the ball over, just being responsible with it. Banchero is playing in the fourth. We've got some Magic supporters in the chat, which I appreciate. And I hope you're enjoying the stream as much as the Nets fans are as well. I try to keep it as impartial as possible. So I hope that's what I'm doing here. So... Anthony swings it to the corner for Houston for another three, and Dinwiddie was able, even though he had one arm latched onto Banchero, he was able to knock it to Bridges on that rebound, and things will be slowed down. Bridges in a one-on-one with Wagner again like the previous play. He drives again. Foul. Got it! Let's go. What is he doing when he does this? It's like he does that every single time now. He's got the N1 to go. Instead of doing this or that, I'm going to have to do the... You can see it. I don't know what that is. If I was an interviewer, I would definitely ask for the context behind that. It is another free throw for Bridges. That is good. Leads up to 20. And we look in a very, very commanding place to get this one done. Obviously, Magic on the second night of a back-to-back, so they are probably a little bit exhausted. Banchero weaves through, and that's an easy two. There was no resistance on that one. and I don't think I'm really surprised by it either. Bridges will get by a half court. Bridges has 40 again. I thought he was on track for a 50 piece. He probably still can get there depending on the way we approach offense in the late game. Here he is, and he scores with the hang time on the baseline. 2 more for Mikal. He's a 42, and he could make a late sprint for the 50 piece. I think his personal best is 45 or 47. Banchero for 3, it's off. Bridges soars in for the rebound. And, bro, push the pace. Go for 50, mate. Go for 50. Come on. Mikal's going to get doubled. That is so depressing. Here's Clax. Mikal gets it back. Corner 3 for Johnson. And it's good. Give me that. Yeah. Whoop. Yeah. I think we've got the win, ladies and gents. I think we've got the win. Oh, man. Feels good to be back on the winners list, eh? Ooh. So, Mikal, I get to update the total. Let me just go back into the box score area. And go back down to Mikal Bridges, who has shot the ball very efficiently, even though in the second half I've sort of forgotten he's existed with his lack of offensive presence. But he's been really, really good in this game overall. I mean, ultimately the 42 points are an indictment of the way he's played in the whole game, not just in a half. So yeah, the 42 for him, but in that time of the game where Mikal wasn't present, Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, even though Cam Thomas is shooting it like trash, I mean, in this second half, he's been a lot better. He's above 50% from the field. It's been good to see. It's been really good to see. The rebounding's been solid, plus 18 in that department. The turnovers have gone down in this last quarter. And there were 2 ways this could have gone. We could have either been absolutely killed in the last quarter, drawn back on those bad habits, and the deficit could have been down to like a 1 or 2 possession game. Instead, we outscore them by, 10 in this last quarter. It's 21-11 our way, and we're up 23. So this one probably is well and truly done. The other good thing is we got 22 minutes out of Day'Ron Sharpe, which is something that usually in seasons gone by you wouldn't really be too excited about, but Day'Ron was a plus 13, only the 5 and 5, 2 assists, but he was the presence that we needed, the more physical body than Clax, who was obviously a little bit slimmer. So I feel like, very similar to, the way Dennis Smith sort of can operate. I think it's going to be very matchup based. We were missing Dorian Finney-Smith today, and we've performed. We're still missing Lonnie. We don't have Ben Simmons. Any other players we're missing? I think those 3 are the only 3 out. But yeah, I mean, everyone's really done a good job today. Shooting the ball well, 30 free throws. Mikal's been spearheading that with 18 of them. I don't know the last time we've had someone push 20 free throws the way Mikal has today. But this is a huge win. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and sub as well. We'll be back next week for the 2 games of the Nets. And that 3 by Anthony is good as he lets it fly. Yeah, so it looks like we're running our starting 5, which is an interesting call with the game up 20. The Magic have emptied their bench, so I think they flagged this one as done. But I think the Nets have flagged that there's a little bit more work to do. Bridges went for the 3. I would have attacked Anthony Black there because I wouldn't back him in on defense. That 3 by Schofield's off, and Claxton gets the rebound. I sense the opportunity for a little bit of stat padding here because, bro, I don't even know who the big is in this Orlando 5. They've got Okeke in, Houston. That mid-range by Thomas is off. Claxton with the board, and he just skies over whoever the 5 is, which I think it's Admiral Schofield, is in the game for his first action. 24 second chance points for the Nets. We will do a little post-game after this as well, so make sure to hang around for that. Anthony, the drive and the scoop, it's good. And we've got another timeout, so I think JV's going to empty the bench now. Don't risk an injury. We've got this one well and truly in the books. But yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts about the game, and we'll have a little chat about it. To this point in the game, hold on, let's have a look. Mikal Bridges masterclass, you'll love to see it. For sure. For sure. They're unloading benches on both sides. They are now, Scott. It seems like we needed that loss against the Hornets. Almost a wake-up call. And yeah, I mean, it's just something about the Nets playing the Magic. In years gone by, it would be the other way around. We'd go into this game saying we need to win this, and then we'd go out and lose it in embarrassing fashion. Very much similar to the Hornets, that Hornets loss. So, yeah. Classic game. Defense past offense. Smith and Royce are the defensive guys that have made the offensive transition easy. Dennis has been superb today. He got 11 rebounds as a guard, 6 dimes, got numbers registered in the block and steal fields. He's got 10 points. So he's got a double-double in under 20 minutes. That is, well, a superb return for a guy who's been out for a couple of weeks. So really good impact there. I've been saying Mikal better than Jaylen Brown. Maybe people will start believing me. Well, Mikal had a slow start, but I said in my season preview that either Mikal would start scorching hot or ice cold, and then things would even out as the season wears on. And in the last 5 games before today, he was averaging 26. He's gotten a 40 piece again today. And look, he could have had like 50, 55 if we had a more adequate offensive scheme to feed him the ball. We have, I don't know what lineup this is, because we've got Cam Thomas and Claxton and Johnson in. So all the guys who have been out for extended periods are in, with Dennis, who was just returned from injury, and Trendon Watford. So an interesting lineup here. I think the two-way players aren't available, so this is why we're still playing our starters roughly. Johnson, the layup, didn't get it to go. And Johnson is slow to get up. It's a 5-on-4. Good wraparound by Okeke, but I think they were looking for the lob. Anthony Black went up. Okeke was looking for the pass at ground level on the ground floor. So, yeah. They've never played well against us. I don't know why. You have to go back to the Vucevic, Aaron Gordon days of the Magic to really find a time where they were dominating. But yeah, this is a really needed win. This could have been a game we let slip, but there were a lot of advantages that, you know, go our way. When you look at the fixture, I mean, you know, nice push shot by Watford there to get it out to 22. Yeah, like, we could have easily lost this game. Magic have won 9 in a row, even though they're on the second night of a back-to-back. Got good players, playing with good energy, vibes are good. But this is like the Hawks game a few weeks ago. You know, you can't... Like, we needed to start the game better than the Magic. And that first quarter by Mikal, where he had 23, I think, was exactly what we needed, because we had a 40-point first quarter. In that Nets-Hawks game, oh, wow, that's a Cam Thomas 3. The tray is good. Up to 25. The margin, not the amount of points he's gotten. He's probably close to 25, to be fair. Yeah, but, you know, that Nets-Hawks game, we started horrifically, conceded 45. Today we score 45, and we run that momentum for the rest of the game. This is the second time we have beaten the Magic, and I think they've only had 2 losses in about 15 games, and it's been both against us, and they've both been by 20. Watford +1! The exclamation point. So this is a blowout, man. We have gone out and scored 128 on the Magic, and I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be a good defense. And, bro, Bro, this is ridiculous. In the 2 games we've played against Orlando, we have gone and scored a grand total of 252 points total. And with the make here, yep, blink and you'll miss it. We have now made it 253 points in 2 games. So we've been awesome in this game. This is nearly one of the best performances of the season. The other Magic win would be up there. O'Neal knocked it away. Schofield got it back. And the 3 is off. Rebound. Bro, they're all fighting for the rebound. And Dayron was talking smack with Dennis. The game's done. That is the most emphatic win I've seen in a long, long time. 129-101 the final score. Mikal ends with more than 40 again. And that was on the back of a 34-point first half. Quality numbers by Mikal. We will look at the box score and then we'll just do a little bit of analysis and then we'll head off. And you can get on with your day, your night, your evening. You probably maybe woke up and now you're going back to bed. But we'll keep it quick here. You can see we had a number of key contributors and a couple of those had just returned or have just returned. Cam Thomas in the second half was 6 of 12 after starting 1 of 11. So he ends with a 20 piece and he got 5 assists. So good numbers there. O'Neal ended with 7 dimes. Dennis Smith, really impressive off the bench in 20 minutes, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals and a block. So he stuffed the stat sheet. Noah Eagle needs to call more games, 100%. I mean, bro, both of them are so good at what they do. We out-rebounded the Magic by 21 rebounds. We had 14 offensive rebounds as a part of that. Got to the free throw line a ton, and Mikal Bridges, bro, plus 26 in 35 minutes. He had 18 free throws, hit 3 threes, did a bit of everything in the first half where we got the cushion we needed. 3 blocks and a steal in that first half. He did it all. And you know what? I may actually do a video. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the chat right now. I may do a video on that first half because that was blistering. Blistering. I mean, we've got a 4-day break, so we might as well talk about a few things that have happened with regards to Nets World, basically. We're probably going to cover that Mikal Bridges first half. I think I have to. 34 points in a half of basketball is stupid numbers. And it's the highest or second highest mark by any net in 27 years. Spencer Dinwiddie was pretty good in the time that Mikal wasn't scoring in that middle portion of the game, more so the third quarter where Mikal scored 1 point from a free throw. Dinwiddie had 13 in that third quarter. Cam Thomas, as we've said, did well. And Dayron Sharp, you'll notice, played 24 minutes and Clax only played 24. I would say for the first time this year, those minutes are warranted by Dayron Sharp. I mean, you look at what he was delivering on the defensive side of the floor, you won't be able to see that in the box score numbers, but if you watch the second quarter back, where we got that cushioning, Dayron was on the court for that time. I mean, Clax ends with a +3, Dayron ends with a +21, so I think that speaks volumes. He was working really well, really cohesive with that, that unit that he was a part of, with Bridges and Spencer Dinwiddie and those bench guys, Royce O'Neal included. Really good stuff to do there. Or really good stuff we did there. I would say that's probably the best game of the year. We held the Magic to 101 points. Wagner top scored for them, but not very efficient. Cole Anthony was good, and Mo Wagner the same, but I mean, they started shooting the ball efficient or inefficiently. They got to the free throw line, but they were never able to actually find a flow offensively. Got smashed in rebounding. The turnover number was pretty even with us, so there wasn't really any advantage for the Magic. And overall, in that last quarter, the game was there to be won. We could have easily let it slip after a pretty down third quarter, but we outscored them 31-16. So a really good shift when we well and truly needed to perform. And we'll go and have a quick look at these stats. Second chance points, 24 to the Nets. I may be able to get it up here so you can have a look as well. You can see the percentages and the field goal stuff there. I'll leave it at this. That's probably all that matters to you. Offensive rebounds, 14-7. Points off turnovers, we had 12. They had 7, so they never punished us when we did turn it over, which wasn't too much. 17 points to 11 on the break. 56 points in the paint, so we're being good in that area in the last couple of games. And most importantly, as we've said, you look at the first quarter, we went on a 33-11 extended run from the 7:57 mark to 54 seconds left in the quarter, and that is why we led at quarter time 43-22, and obviously we had a lot of leeway in what we could and couldn't do. The mistakes counted for less because we had that buffer, and that was incredibly important in us getting the W. We will actually, just to quantify how good we are against the Magic. First, we'll look at the standings real quick, because I think we don't usually do this enough. The Nets go back up to 9th, but you can see there is a bit of a logjam. Only 2 games separate 4th. Well, 2.5 separate 4th and 10th. So a couple losses and you can go from 4th to 10th. A couple wins can send you up 4 or 5 places, which is pretty cool. But we just historically have a great record against the Atlantic Division, I think. No, not Atlantic. There's another division. Southeast, I think. 5-3. We've been really good. That's like teams like the Heat, the Magic, the Wizards, and there's a couple others in there, I think. Yeah, so we've been really good there, but I just want to cast your attention to how good the Magic were playing, and how good we've been. So, well, against the Magic. You can see, to your left, all those wins, and you can see the 2 losses wedged in between, both at the hands of us, which is pretty crazy. So they've been really good this year. They're now 14-6 with that loss. If they won today, they would have actually had a franchise record for wins. So we had to spoil the party, unfortunately. But if we look at team stats, is it going to show me? Team stats. Here we go. Rebounds. We're the best team in the league rebounding wise. That is crazy to me. Point differential. Usually the Magic flog their opponents. We will have a look at offense leaders, because I can imagine the Magic is sort of up there. No, they're not. They're at 115 points a game. We're actually better than them, which is sort of nuts. Here we go, though. Opponent stats. The Magic only allow usually 109 points a game. 47% from the field. From 3, about 36.5%. Only allow 25 free throws and only allow 8 offensive rebounds. I reckon that is the lowest mark in the league, and we got 13 on them. So, quality shit. Assist numbers, usually more stagnant offenses against the Magic because they allowed the least assists. Turnovers, they force a lot of them as well. They actually force the most turnovers in the league. So the fact that we were able to keep a stranglehold, I just realized you can't even see that. Turnovers are there. You can't even see that. Shit. Well, just take my word for it. 16.2 turnovers they force, and that is the most in the league, which is really good. That we were able to only have 11 in this game, especially in the last quarter. They could have gone up another notch defensively in that last quarter to really put the pressure on, but we did well. Outside of one quarter, it's always like that. Outside of one quarter, we have a really good game turnover-wise. We look after the basketball, but then this one quarter, we'll get outscored by 10 or 11. That may be the difference in the game, and it's all because we couldn't look after the basketball. So good signs there. The offensive rebounds, as I've just mentioned, they usually allow the least, but we had 13. Flogged them on rebounds, and then you can see the free throw attempts. The free throw attempts, usually they allow like 25. We had more than that. field goal percentages and 3-point percentages also were, we were well above that mark. So we did a very good job at bucking the trend and doing something that hasn't really happened in games against the Magic this year. Blowout loss to the Nets. Blowout to the Nets. 9-game win streak, then blowout loss to the Nets. Yeah, it's sort of weird how that's worked. The Nets do, in fact, own the Magic. Best rebounding, never would have thought it was possible last season. It's just come off the back of a team mentality in that regard. Dennis had 11 rebounds today. So I think that speaks volumes. We didn't even have Claxton for half the game, and I'm not saying that exaggeratingly or sarcastically or ironically. Literally, Dayron played half the game today and Clax played the other half. And I would argue Dayron played the more valuable 24 minutes today. Dennis has got to mark Trey like his life depends on it, and watch out for those step-back fouls that Young always does intentionally. I think this is why I'm more confident going into the Hawks game next week, because now that matchup, like, we had a 2-game stretch where we played Philly, then played the Hawks. We needed Dennis for Maxey and Trey Young, and we probably needed him for Rozier the other night as well. We now have him ready to go in the wings, waiting to face Trey Young. And I think we're going to be we're going to be reaping the benefits of that, I do think. So I'm very excited to see what that looks like as well. I'm really excited. I think I am going to do a video about the Bridges 34-point first half because, how can you not? It's an incredibly good first half performance and something that was incredibly unprecedented because Mikal hasn't had a particularly brilliant start to the season. He's been pretty solid, but nowhere near the mark of what he was doing last season. So to see a performance like that or see a first half performance like that is, well, it gives you a reason for optimism and hope going forward that, especially in a run of games, which are a little bit tougher, we've got players like Mikal who can assume that responsibility. And then there's games where Cam Thomas can inherently do the same thing. So it's good we've got those two options there. Some people have said that Mikal is a really good role player. I think today shows why he's just not that. He's a little bit more than that. That is why he fits on any team, he fits in cohesively to any roster. He does everything your team wants of you. He's a very good locker room guy. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to see a win like this. We needed a win like this, and now we've got a big break. A long, long break. We'll be doing that video. We'll be doing a watch-along in a few days' time for Nets Atlanta. It is a little bit more than a few days away, but we will be there for that. Wasn't JV supposed to make some announcement about Ben? Did he? He did. Ben received an injection and apparently is getting reevaluated in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks will turn into 2 months, and 2 months will turn into 2 years, and by that point his contract will be up. So I don't really have much to say about Ben because he's not playing. So I think I'm going to leave it at that with regards to Ben, and I'm probably going to leave it at that for the watch party today. Another great call today. Much appreciated. Only kidding about the Blues. They're on the up in 24. Well, yeah, the joke was warranted as well. I can take those. I can cop those on the chin because we have been shit for years and years. But this was a good stream, so make sure to drop a like on your way out, and I hope you enjoyed it as well as much as I did. Support is obviously what we want to see. So yeah, make sure to do that. If you want to donate on the way out, go ahead. And yeah, we will see you in what'll feel like an eternity, but yeah, we'll be back in 4 or so days. Keep an eye on the video that I will make. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure to stay safe in this period of time where there's no games. Thanks for the support as always. And yeah, we will see you soon for another Nets watch party or Nets video. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. And bye for now.